Like Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look. CKDKDS Macron. Oh,
yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
I said where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken, where I come from.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
I'm Demery Brewer, and you're listening to Tim and Ken on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show.
Let's go have some fun tonight. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win. X, 82 pickle. H, disco. 19, yo-yo. Deep yo-yo. Deep yo-yo. Now firm up a little bit, boy. Right, we're going to use the cadence now, right? We got to use the cadence versus that blitz. Apple, chopper, Japan, Richmond, New York, Richmond, Florida, Valley, Buffalo, hey, short eyes, little Raiders. Come out. I might all of them.
Welcome out to the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. It's Tim Johnson and Ken Link on a Friday night, Kenny.
Yes, some more football. The weather's cooled down just a little bit, so it's feeling a little bit more like football weather out there.
I'm telling you, man, I love this weather, Ken. Like you said, you got a chill in the air. You can smell the popcorn from a long distance off, also Coca-Colas, and we're ready for some football here tonight, Ken, for the First Federal Lincoln County High School football show, Kenny.
We had a lot of action last week. We're going to go over the results of those games, but first we're going to talk a little bit about our winner, our award winner this week. The First Federal Lincoln County High School Student Athlete Football Player of the Week goes to Terrell McLean from the Lincoln Woods. Terrell had passing yardage at his quarterback spot, led them out of 22 for 182 yards and threw 2 touchdowns. He also rushed for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns and caught a pass for a 2-point conversion. And doing all this, he missed a good part of the third quarter with a thigh injury, came back, wasn't 100%, but led his team for that go-ahead touchdown late in the fourth quarter as the Woods beat cross-county rival West Lincoln. So McLean is certainly a deserving winner as the Lincoln County High School Student Athlete Football Player of the Week. And we certainly appreciate First Federal for sponsoring this award, and Demery Brewer for joining us each week as we go out and present this award to some deserving young man.
Most certainly, Ken. Demery Brewer, one of the finest people in Lincoln County, especially at First Federal. We're so glad to have that young man aboard with us here every Friday as well, Ken. So North Lincoln, like you said, travels to Newton-Conover. Big football game for the North Lincoln Knights. They're taking on a really good football team. Matt Beam has got those guys playing really good up at Newton-Conover, Ken.
Yeah, a couple storylines here as Matt Beam, who once coached at North Lincoln, Coach Steve Pack, who coached under Coach Beam at 2 places, I think Burns and Newton-Conover, and he went back to Burns before he took his head coaching job down at North Lincoln. So I talked to Gene Sain early in the year, and Gene told me they were pointing toward this game. They were really excited, the North Lincoln Knights was, to play Newton-Conover this year. Now, I tell you what, Newton-Conover got a good team. But North Lincoln will go up there, and they'll be excited to play, I think.
Absolutely. And talking to Coach Stephen Pack, he's looking forward to it. Like you said, that is his mentor, Coach Matt Beam. So he said it's like a father figure there, And so we if they can get that offense going, we was at North Lincoln this past Friday night, Ken, and from what we saw, they didn't really get the offense, playing as well.
That's the first game of the season that they were not in, Tim, and their offense sputtered, and we had not seen that all year.
A lot of mistakes made on the offensive side of football, and I know Coach Stephen Pack, he's going to do whatever he can to get that corrected during this past week in practice, like I said. And so, but the defensive side of the ball, I thought they played pretty good on defense, Ken.
They played fairly good, but, that's been their weakness, and unfortunately a game where they played fairly good is only 14-0 Maiden at the half. So
absolutely.
The defense was hanging in there. They just couldn't get the offense going.
And Maiden, they're a really good football team.
They are. Undefeated, obviously,
yes.
So and undefeated in the conference and 8-0 overall. So Maiden is a good football team.
And got a really good quarterback, too. So
yes.
The quarterback runs the offense really well for the Maiden Blue Devils, and had a chance to talk to Greg Pound this past Friday night, and Greg said that had a few players we wanted to highlight for the Maiden Blue Devils, and that's the Cobb kid, the linebacker, number 55, playing good football, and also the running back. I like the running back. Low to the ground, he runs low. Power, he's got speed. He's a really good complementary running back to the quarterback they have up there at Maiden Blue Devils.
Yes, and the Maiden Blue Devils, that defense, Tim, they sacked Reed McCoy multiple times. Actually sacked him one time for a safety. They also intercepted one pass, so they harassed North Lincoln, and what I saw was several times it looked like McCoy had time to find a receiver, but they had such good coverage downfield, the Maiden defensive guys did, that they couldn't find anybody open, and as a result, couldn't get away from the rush and ended up having to take a couple sacks.
Right. I agree with you there, Kenny. Absolutely. Reed made some mistakes for the first time that we saw this year. He's been having a great year all year, so I'm sure they worked on a few things about getting rid of the football, not taking a sack, not taking a loss of yards too. So that's big too for a young quarterback like that to come into the league. But he's a senior, and he's going to get he'll work his way through that. And so, but like I say, they got their hands full come Friday night with those Newton-Conover Red Devils. I tell you, Ken, they're going to face one of the best football players in the state of North Carolina.
Yes, we've seen Newton-Conover.
Two of them, actually.
They have lots of athletes and speed on both sides of the football.
They can fly to the football.
And when I say both sides, some of these guys that's really good on offense, they play on defense too.
Yes.
And they're led, obviously, by quarterback Shamar Baker, who is the best quarterback in the South Fork.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
He's a dual threat. He can hurt you with his arm and his legs. He returns kicks, punts, and kickoffs. And he also plays in the secondary. So he didn't come off the field, Tim.
No, he don't. He does. He stays out there and he plays 4 quarters of football on both sides of the football field. And also the running back, Tyler Stinson, is our leading rusher. He's a big 225-pound back end. He was really difficult to get down on, And he gets I like what Coach Conger said last week on our show. Scott said they run like a zone offense, and so they try to get him outside in open field. And when he gets there, Ken, it's gone. It's over.
Yeah, he gets some momentum. He'll break some tackles, but it takes him a little while to get going. But once he gets going, he's tough to bring down.
Yes, and also some of the wide receivers I see too. Also Miles Baker and Kawan McClain, outstanding young men catching the football.
When we saw him against West Lincoln,
Baker.
both of those caught touchdown passes, and they really looked good out there throwing to them. And they didn't have to throw that much against West Lincoln, but they can throw if they need to.
So what are your keys to the game tonight, Ken, for the North Lincoln High School to be able to maybe control the Newton-Conover High School Red Devils and possibly come away with a big upset? And it would be a major upset if they could go up there and put some points on the board.
Well, obviously, you're not going to completely stop this Newton-Conover offense. So North Lincoln's going to have to try to score with them. North Lincoln's got to put points on the board because Newton-Conover is going to put points on the board. And so the key to the game is they can't have a sputter on offense. They have to try to match them on offense. And they can't beat Newton-Conover in a low-scoring game, but possibly they could in a high-scoring game. Now, we saw Newton-Conover make some mistakes with penalties and that kind of thing. That will help North Lincoln if they start making mistakes.
Right, I agree with you. You're right.
So they need a little help in that area to try to pull off this upset.
Their defense is going to have to play the game of their life. I'm going to tell you that.
They will have to slow them down because these guys are hard to slow down, Tim. They're difficult. They got some athletes.
Yes, the senior leadership this week is going to have to step up big. Like I said, Coach Pack is going to have his team ready. They're going to be well prepared to go up there to Newton-Conover to take on this team. But they're going to have to play a perfect game to be able to beat Newton-Conover. I mean, they're a really good football team, the best football team we've probably seen all year.
Now Tim, last week Newton-Conover played Lake Norman Charter, who's not a strong team, but Tim, the score at halftime was 60-0.
Wow.
At halftime.
Wow. I mean.
And obviously he pulled everybody out because the final score was 63-7, and I'm sure they had a running clock. And
yes.
He put in the other guys off the bench. But to score 60 points in a half, that's difficult to do.
That's pretty difficult right there, Kenny. I agree with you there, too. Absolutely. So, North Lincoln traveling to Newton-Conover this week. It's going to be a big football game. There's possibilities, Kenny.
Yes, we'll see how it turns out. And again, last week was the first game that North Lincoln has not been in the ball game. So it wouldn't surprise me if they hang around with Newton-Conover because they've done it in the past.
Absolutely. I agree with you. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. North Lincoln's got a really good offense. Let's don't get wrong here. They got a good quarterback who can throw the football, and they got some running backs, a Holly kid and a Crib kid, can run the football between the tackles. Holly can catch it out of the backfield, and plus Holly can catch it down the field. And also they got Camp too. So they got a really good football team, Ken. They just got to, limit the mistakes on defense and try to keep their offense off the field, kind of what Lincoln did, and try to possibly put some points on the board and hopefully come away with a big win.
Yeah, and I'm looking for Clayton Cribb to have a good game here. If he can get going on offense with that rushing attack, that'll help him to balance out some with the passing.
Absolutely. So look forward to North Lincoln and Newton-Conover. So we'll be back after these commercials right here on WLON 1050 AM. It's the First Federal Lincoln County High School. Your host, Tim Johnson and Mr. Ken Link.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Lincoln in football, it's Coach Leffler Gibson. We've been playing a little bit better the last couple of games. Improvement on defense. We've kind of went to a different look up front and moved some kids around. We found a good defensive player, and a little Powell kid that stepped up and played well for us, and that's made a big difference in the way we play. Finding a good player to kind of lead us there, and that's helped those guys. Offensively, we've changed what we're doing. We went back to our spread and taking advantage of our speed and using Tyshawn and also taking advantage of Terrell's power, I guess, not really his speed, but his power, and using the 2 guys on the outside, Tariq and Skylar, using those guys a little bit more and taking advantage of that stuff. So we're able to score a little bit more and use that way.
That was Lincoln football coach Ledford Gibson talking about his football team, who came away with a big win this past weekend against the West Lincoln Rebels up in Vail. It was a tight game. Actually, the Rebels had a 20-14 lead in the second half. Lincoln came back to tie that game up 20-20, and then later on in that fourth quarter, Lincoln started a drive on their own 2-yard line and went 98 yards to take the lead, converted the 2-point conversion to go up 28-20. And I think there was, with about 2 minutes left, West Lincoln turned it over again, and then Lincoln put across another touchdown with just about 30 seconds left in the game. So the score was 35-20, but it was closer than that.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a great game. You know, like I say, West Lincoln, they had the lead in the third quarter, like you said, Ken, 20-14. You know, I mean, Tommy Sang's football team played really good, and so did Coach Leffler Gibson as well. So, you know, I would have loved to have been at that game to watch that game. That was a tight game going all the way into the fourth quarter. Like you said, Lincoln had, what, a
98-yard drive. And they had some penalties in there they had to overcome during that drive, but they just kept churning away and finally scored on a 27-yard touchdown pass from McLean, our Lincoln County Football Player of the Week, to Tyreek Hollis. And Lincoln scored another touchdown with 30 seconds left after a West Lincoln turnover, Hollis with a 21-yard run, and then they kicked the extra point, and that made the final 35-20.
Yeah, it's really good to see McLean. You know, he was out, what, a little bit in the third quarter? Is that what you're saying?
He was out. He got hurt early in the third quarter and was out most of the third quarter.
And he came back.
And he had a thigh injury. He wasn't 100% when he came back, Tim, so he led that team.
And we saw his thigh Monday.
And he still was hobbling a little bit. I mean, he's an injury that really affected him.
Yes, and like I said, his thigh was real swelled up. So he said he took a helmet into the leg of one of West Lincoln football players. So, yeah, he's a tough kid too. And I'm going to tell you something, Ken. I'm impressed with him, not ever playing quarterback. And a lot of people don't realize this. Lincoln had to find a quarterback. They didn't have a quarterback on the team.
They didn't have one at all. That had actually played JVs or anything.
That's a testament to the coaching staff of Lincolnton High School, to the Wolves, Leffler Gibson, Cole Sigmund, David Bird, the whole entire coaching staff there, also Marty and the rest of the guys there. I mean, they had to go out and find them a quarterback to run that offense. And one thing that Leffler told us, he said, you know, Tim, he said, this kid's got better every week. And I told McLean himself, I was really impressed the way he threw the football. He's starting to throw the football, you know, complete some passes, stuff like that.
Well, he's getting more comfortable throwing it.
Absolutely.
He's getting more comfortable. It's not as strange to him throwing it. And here's the thing. He's a well-built young man.
Yes, he is.
And so when he decides to keep it, he can run
He's strong.
He can run. He's a quarterback can run with power.
Absolutely.
Rather than speed.
They got the dynamic play of Tyshawn Harris.
Oh, yeah, they got Harris, who who didn't score a bunch of touchdowns in this game. He usually does, but he still and I'm sure West Lincoln was keen on him, but he still had 93 yards rushing on 21 carries.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So there's no doubt. And Tyree Collis had a big game too. Had a 27-yard touchdown reception and a 21-yard run. So he had the go-ahead touchdown. So
yes,
put them up.
And they had an extra point blocked when they was trying to go up 21-20. And so they went for 2 after they scored that go-ahead touchdown. And they used sort of a trick play where they lined up to kick the PAT, and Hollis was a holder. Well, he took the snap and rose up and threw a 2-point conversion to McLean.
Right.
So they switched roles there on that play.
Is Harris the best running back in the conference?
I would say he is. He's the leading rusher in the Congress. He's well over 1,000 yards, and he's done it every game, Tim. He's got speed.
He's been a great leader for the Lincoln Wolves.
And he's not only got speed, but he's a little bit of workhorse. You can give it to him 25, 30 times a game.
Absolutely. All right, again, the West Lincoln Rebels, Nakathan Fansuk, who was a First Federal Lincoln County High School Student Athlete of the Week, had 109 yards rushing on 26 carries. Also, Xander Pendergrass, the young man to me and you like a lot, Ken, had 61 yards rushing on 3 carries. It's pretty impressive there, and had a 43-yard TD and also had a pass interception as well.
That kid's a sophomore, and so he's got a good future in front of him.
He does.
Now, this week, the Lincoln Wolves play Lake Norman Charter, who unfortunately hasn't had a good season. They got thumped pretty heavily in most of the conference games. So that's Lincoln's homecoming game tonight. And so I look for Lincoln to win their 3rd straight conference win tonight.
Right. So hopefully that'd be 3 in a row for the Lincoln Wolves.
Yes.
And the West Lincoln Rebels, let's see, they take on, is it Bandy? Is that correct, Ken?
Yes, they take on Bandy's at Bandy's, and that's been a little bit of rivalry in the past, Tim.
Yes.
So that's not necessarily an easy game for them.
No, it ain't. So I know Tommy Sain's going to have his football team. He's going to have them well prepared like he always does, him and his coaching staff. And I tell you, Tom Sain does an unbelievable job with those young men up there at West Lincoln. And we're so thankful that every time we go up our Tom, he just makes us feel so welcome. So what a great man he is, and a great person to be able to lead your young men in football as well as off the field too, Ken. You know Tom well.
Yes, and Bandy's lost to East Lincoln last week, 38-13. It was a 10-7 game in half, but East Lincoln dominated the second half to go ahead 38-7 before Bandy scored a late touchdown. Bandy's has lost 5 straight, but I'd still look for this game against West Lincoln to be close. And West Lincoln needs this win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
That's right. So we'll be back after this fine commercial here for you on WLON 1050 AM. Hey, it's the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. You're listening to Mr. Baseball himself, Kenny Link and Tim Johnson, right here on KTC Broadcasting.
Let's get one thing straight now, baby. Tell me if you love me or not, love me or not, love me or not. Let the house on you, am I lucky or not, lucky or not?
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Tom Sain, West Lincoln High School football coach, and you're listening to Tim Johnson and Ken Link on the First Federal Lincoln County High School football show.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over.
Okay, we're back here on the First Federal High School football show for Lincoln County here, and we've been talking about several games, and the big game tonight pairs a couple of undefeated teams in the conference. East Lincoln, who's 4-0 in the conference, 5-3 overall, and has won 5 straight, go on the road against the Maiden Blue Devils, who are undefeated, 4-0 in the conference, 8-0 overall. Now, this is going to be a key game for both teams. East Lincoln has been playing well. They've got their offense in gear a little bit now. That defense has been tough all year long. They've played well, and they're going to go up there to try to see if they can knock off these Maiden Blue Devils.
I tell you, Ken, That's going to be a great football game. That's going to come down to defense versus offense. So, and we know that East Lincoln, Coach Leibowitz, has got a great defense. And like you said, they probably got the best defense in our conference, and most definitely in Lincoln County. But if Coach Leibowitz goes up there and he beats the Maiden Blue Devils, look out.
Yeah, that'd be a huge win. And Chase Jones had another big game last week, his second really good game in a row. And they sputtered a little bit offense the first half, but second half they got it going and really lit up the scoreboard a little bit against Bandy's team. Chase Jones, that is.
He's playing good football.
Threw for 2 touchdowns and rushed for 2 touchdowns.
Now, you talking about a kid that's improved every week. I mean, this kid from week 1, Ken, to right now is probably the most improved player in the conference.
I would say.
I would say no doubt about it.
And he's playing
absolutely.
He's playing with confidence now, and I think he's showing leadership where his team is behind him. They have confidence in him, and that makes a big difference.
Yes, absolutely. And what a great young man he is, too. His dad, Johnny Jones, like Coach said the other week, went to Lincolnton, also a former player. Also, his mom, Mandy, know Mandy well. So great parents, great family, and I know they're proud of what Chase is doing there at East Lincoln High School. So, and he's a junior, is that correct? He'll be back junior?
Yeah, he's a junior. He'll be back next year. He'll be back next year.
So this is good experience for him, get him ready for next year. And listen, they have a chance to go to playoffs.
Oh, well, yeah, they're going to the playoffs with the record they already have. I mean, they will need one more win, don't get me wrong, but I think they'll get at least one more win. And we're going to talk in a few minutes about the conference standings and the remaining games the teams have and their chances of making the playoffs. Chandler Jones, the other Jones on that team.
Jones brothers.
I think he had over 200 yards rushing against Mandy, so he had a big game as well.
And he was one of the players that Coach Leibowitz he wanted us to make known that he thought that he might fit the criteria of being the first Federal Lincoln County High School student athlete football player, and he did without a doubt. He's definitely a great football player. Had a great year so far too.
And we consider all the players
the
coaches send us. We try to make the best choice we can, and the coaches realize that only one player is going to win it every week. There can't be 4, and so they understand that. But we want to say good things about all the players that send us and that do well and highlight their performance. A couple guys that caught some touchdown passes last week against Bandy's, Taven Johnson and Christian Parks, both caught a touchdown pass from Chase Jones. It looks like their offense had come alive. And, Tim, we saw East Lincoln play several games, and we said if they could just quit making
mistakes,
the penalties, clean those up on offense, they're sort of shooting themselves in the foot. And it looks like they've done that to some extent.
They have. They've cleaned up some of their mistakes, and that's, like I said, that's a testament to the coaching. Getting his players to understand, hey guys, we're getting beat because we're making these mistakes. So so that's a testament to the coaching, what Coach Leibowitz and them, the coaching staff there at East Lincoln's doing. So no doubt about it, Ken. If they can, if they can come out and play a really good, clean football game, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to pick East Lincoln tonight to upset Maiden.
We could happen. It's up there at Maiden. Now, Maiden got a good team, and we saw them last week. Tim, I was impressed by their defense against North Lincoln.
Right.
I knew they had some good offensive players.
Right.
They're led by Kagan Mayfield, the quarterback. Caleb McDaniel, he's a receiver, but he had
really good
44-yard touchdown run. And Kentrell Williams, that's the running back.
Number 22.
He had 119 yards rushing, and he's an excellent player. So they've got some good offensive players.
All right, Kenny. Oh, excuse me. I got a cough. I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, Ken. I can't get over this cold. But anyway, the East Lincoln Mustangs and the Maiden Blue Devils, they're at Maiden tonight. So I'm picking East Lincoln to upset them.
Could be. We'll see. That's going to be a heck of a game.
All righty, Ken. We're going to go to a commercial, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about House of Pizza, our favorite place to eat, Ken. And we had some great food there tonight. We'll be right back here on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. You're listening to Tim Johnson and Ken Link.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
All righty, Kenny, we're back here on WLON, 1050 AM. It's Tim Johnson and Ken Link every Friday. It's the First Federal, the Lincoln County High School Football Show. You know, Lincoln County, Ken, has got one of the best restaurants you can ever eat at, and we're talking about the House of Pizza.
Yes, and we enjoy eating there every Friday night, and you don't have to wait till Friday night to eat there, Tim.
Lord,
They got good food all week long.
Yes, they do. Also, I want to stand a shout out to Wayne Hauer and David Keever, the best people in sports editing, Ken, and we're so thankful what those two guys do for us.
Oh yes, they're putting pictures of our First Federal Savings Bank Player of the Week in the papers every week, and on the in the Lincoln Herald online, and we appreciate their support and how they support high school sports in this area.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So every Friday you can catch Tim and Ken. Also on Wednesdays you can catch us on The Best in Sports from 4 to 5 on WCSL. But tune in to Wayne Hauer and, of course, David Keever every Monday, Wednesday. Wayne's actually, he's what? 5 days, 6, 7 days a week, ain't he, Ken?
Oh, yeah, you can pull up that Lincoln Herald, and they've got current news. They keep it current. If it's breaking, they probably got it. So,
all right, Ken. You got some standings for us, my man.
Yes, let's talk a little bit about the standings. Up top, we have Maiden, Newton-Conover, and East Lincoln, all with 4-0 conference records. And those 3 teams will be playing each other over the next 3 weeks. So we're going to find out how that's going to jumble out and who's going to finish on top. Lincoln and West Lincoln are next in the standings. Lincoln with a 2-2 conference record, and West Lincoln was a 1-3 conference record. Both those teams have 3-5 overall records. So, Tim, Lincoln and West Lincoln both have
they got to win
shot to make the playoffs, but they got to win out.
They got to win out. You're right.
Now, East Lincoln's won. They're 5-3. They only have to win one more game. Let's talk a little bit about the Lincoln County teams. East Lincoln plays at Maiden tonight. Then they play West Lincoln at home. Then they're at Newton-Conover. They only need to win one more game to get to 6 and get into the playoffs. I think they'll do that for sure. Now, Lincoln has to win out. Lincoln's got Lake Norman Charter tonight. Then they're at North Lincoln, and they finish up at home with their rival Maiden.
Right, I agree with you. Yep.
And then West Lincoln is at Bandy's tonight, at East Lincoln next week, and finish up with Lake Norman Charter. They need to win out as well, and they've got 2 tough road games coming up.
So you got West Lincoln, who it's going only 3 teams is probably going to make it, but there's a possibly 4th team. Is that right?
Possibly. If they win 6 games, you got to win 6 games, or you're not going to get in.
So Lincoln owns their own destiny. I mean, they control
really
it. They control their destiny. How about West Lincoln? Do they control their destiny?
Yes,
but Lincoln beat West Lincoln. What if they both went out? Lincoln gets the edge.
Well, yeah, they probably would choose them over West Lincoln if it was a choice between the 2.
Right,
so,
I agree with
that's
you.
The way the standings are. And that said, Maiden, Newton-Conover, and East Lincoln all playing each other the next 3 weeks, and so we'll figure out who's going to finish on top.
Ken, where you at tonight? Because I ain't going to be there.
Well, me and Evan Smoke Ludwig is going to be at Newton-Conover to see that game between the Beam Red Devils and the Leibowitz Knights.
So that ought to be Coach Pack ought to have his kids fired up. So that ought to be
not Leibowitz, but Steve
Coach
Pack.
Yeah.
Steve Pack, not Leibowitz. Well, I'm in the wrong thing here.
Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, that ought to be a great football game. I think North Lincoln can beat them if they put some points on the board. Their defense has got to play the game of their life, Kenny.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
All righty. Thank you for tuning in to all our friends and all the fans of Lincoln County High School football to WLON 1050 AM. It's Tim Johnson, Ken Link, and we'll see you guys here next Friday.
See you then.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week. I'm Evan Ludwig, joined by Ken Link, and Alec Johnson will be working into cameras for tonight's game, as this is a Ronaldo Automall broadcast of high school football right here on YouTube.com and LincolnCounty.com, as it's homecoming here at Gurley Stadium, as Newton-Conover is taking on North Lincoln for the first time in history.
Yeah, North Lincoln Knights, there's a couple storylines here, and as Smoke is very familiar with both of these coaches and these teams. Is Matt Beam for the Newton-Conover Red Devils and Steve Pack for the Knights. And we know that Coach Beam coached at North Lincoln at one time, and Coach Pack has worked as a assistant coach under Coach Beam at two different locations, I think, Smoke, both at Burns and Newton-Conover.
Yeah, Pat came with Matt Beam around 2009, 2010, the first 2 years that Matt was at Burns. Then when Matt moved over here to Newton in 2013, or 2014, I should say, he went over with him for 2 years, and then Pack went back to Burns to be offensive coordinator last year, and now he got the head coaching job at North Lincoln. And now these two teams are in the same conference for the first time ever. Of course, Matt Beam coached at North Lincoln from 2005 to 2008, and you know, Ken, we've known North Lincoln as a team that has struggled in the past throughout their history, but when Matt Beam was there, they were very successful, including 2 playoffs wins, almost made it to the 4th round, and overall had a 30-20 record during Matt Beam's tenure.
Yes, and you know, I think that's what the North Lincoln fans are looking for is Steve Pack to turn things around and have some success like Matt Beam did. And I understand the culture down there is such that people are excited about what Coach Pack is doing. And I know their record doesn't indicate it, but they've played well this year and have been in every game except last week against Maiden. The only game they weren't right in there and only a play or two away from winning it.
Yeah, and, you know, just really had a tough time against Maiden, you know, especially after coming off a big loss to East Lincoln where you led against your rival 31-7 and then you lose that one. It's real tough to go back and play an undefeated Maiden Blue Devils team. Didn't help, and now it doesn't make anything better that you're going against a team that should be undefeated in Newton-Conover with their only loss against High Brighton. I mean, that is it's a gauntlet here that North Lincoln's having to face right now, and they're just trying to get through, get as much experience right now. But we want to give a shout-out to our pregame show sponsor, First Federal Savings Bank. They have locations in Lincolnton, Boger City, and Denver. So if you're on the eastern side of the county or right at the middle, you should be going to First Federal Savings Bank for the pregame show. They'll also be sponsoring our scoreboard. And later into the pregame show, we'll be giving our Classic Ford of Shelby player to watch for both the Red Devils and the North Lincoln Knights. The first downs tonight will be sponsored by Al Lanes Kubota of Lincolnton. Touchdowns will be sponsored by Silver Point Homes. Our halftime show will be sponsored by Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. And during that time, we'll go to the LincolnCounty.com stat sheet provided by Ken Link. And after the game, we'll have the stadium postgame show presented by Carolina Trust Bank with our offensive player of the game presented by Weston Sales and Vale. Our defensive player of the game sponsored by Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincolnton. And our overall player of the game sponsored by Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. So when we get back, Ken, we're going to preview these matchups for tonight's game as we'll take a 2-minute break and be right back after these messages.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. Tuesday, the oven roasted chicken sub. Wednesday, the turkey breast sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT sub. Friday, the tuna sub. Saturday, the Black Forest ham sub. And Sunday, the meatball marinara sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boger City and the Walmart in Lincolnton.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
Drew, This new city just makes me miss home, man.
Go get a sweet tea from McDonald's. They make it fresh, sweet, and it's icy cold, just like your mom's.
But I miss home.
Oh, so you miss your mom telling you to make sure your room's clean? Or
close the fridge, Ryan, and stop letting all the cool air out. Or turn them lights off, Ryan.
All right, got it. The sweet tea is just right. But you know I'm going to tell my mom you got jokes.
No, don't.
This is no joke. Stop by McDonald's and get a large sweet tea for just $1 all summer long. Large sweet tea, just $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
Having trouble finding a car or truck at a price you can afford? Your troubles are over when you stop in at Milholland Automotive in Lincoln. At Milholland Automotive in Lincoln, they make buying a pre-owned vehicle easy. No credit, no money to put down. Milholland Automotive has the banks to get you approved. Come see the selection today at Milholland Automotive, 423 West Main Street in Lincoln. Visit the website at milhollandautomotive.com for a complete list of inventory, or give them a call at 704-736-1000. That's Milholland Automotive in Lincoln.
'Cause I saddle up my horse.
And back here at Gurley Stadium, Newton-Conover High School, you are currently listening to the First Federal Savings Bank pregame show here at Newton-Conover High School. Evan Ludwig, Ken Link, Alec Johnson running the camera here for tonight. Now, Ken, let's preview this Newton-Conover team. They've struggled since Matt Beam has gotten here. Last year, it was the first time that Matt has ever missed the playoffs as a head coach. But now, they're 7-1. Their only loss is to a High Brighton team, which they led almost the whole way through on the road. I mean, I know next week is Maiden, but they can't look past a team like this, you know, that is in a lot of ways similar to Newton-Conover with the way they run their offenses.
Yes, they can't look ahead, and I don't think they will with knowing the coaches, knowing each other well. I think both these teams are going to be fired up to play. I know that North Lincoln was sort of circled this game on the calendar back early on, wanting to play Matt Beam. But Newton-Conover, as you said, has got a very good team, and they very easily could have and maybe should have won that game against High Brighton. They've took it on the chin last couple of years pretty good in the conference, and this year they payback time, and they've paid back some teams that beat them last year.
Well, they still have a very young squad, folks. After this year, they're only graduating about 3 or 4 starters out of 22, so that is ridiculous. I think West Lincoln only has less starters graduating after this year. And, you know, looking at this team last year, I thought it was going to make more of a dividend early for Newton, but it's coming to fruition this year, is the addition of Coach Ponder as their defensive coordinator, moved from West Lincoln, who coached with Matt Beam back when he was at Burns. And clearly it's made a difference here this year for the Red Devils.
Well, their offense certainly has been explosive all year. They're led by quarterback Jamar Baker. He's a junior. He can throw it. He can run it. He's dual threat. He's got some good receivers. Miles Baker's one of them. Kyle McLean is another one he can throw to. They've got good athletes, and they've really been playing well. They haven't punted the ball very often because they haven't needed to.
Well, and you're talking about dual threat and Shamar Baker. You know, he's not, I think people probably think, oh, he's just a read option quarterback. That's not the case. This year he's completed 110 out of 158 attempts for 1,626 yards with a completion percentage of nearly 70% and 16 touchdowns, only 4 picks. Running the ball, he's not that bad as well. As we said, dual threat, 75 carries for 425 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now, one of the things we've heard tonight is that Tyler Stinson will not be playing, but in his place will be Alan Wilfong, a sophomore who's leading the team in tackles at 58 tackles. Now, I've heard something about this. I know personally that my dad said he was concerned. You know, usually when the star player on the offense is out of the game, you're like, oh, that's nothing bad. But last year, their third-string running back who is now at Maiden, who's lighting it up, and that was their third-string running back last year. I mean, this is crazy, Ken, how their second-string running back could possibly be better than Maiden's star running back right now.
Well, they've got a lot of depth, and I saw some of that depth when they played West Lincoln as they put the starters on the bench and played a lot of guys, and they had some more athletes they could put on the field, and they did well when they were out there. So this is a very deep squad, and they're good on defense too. They got some quickness up front, and some of those athletes we're talking about, they play on defense in the secondary, so they'll be out there trying to defend Reed McCoy's passing attack, and North Lincoln's got their work cut out for them here.
Yeah, definitely the case for a defense that's given up over 30 points a game. Every games but the games they've won in. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle tonight for North Lincoln. But Alan Wilfong will be starting at running back here tonight. He, coming into this year, hasn't had that many carries, but he's mostly played defense. 9 carries, 65 yards, and 1 touchdown. But he'll be running with the first-team offense here tonight. So definitely going to be something to look out for. And we will come back here at Gurley Stadium as you're listening to the First Federal Savings Bank Stadium pregame show. When we come back, we're going to preview some of the stuff that North Lincoln has going for them after these commercial breaks.
The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Celebrating 50 years. It's the Glen Oaks Golf Club. Hard to think how many birdies have been made over those years, and oh yeah, how many double bogeys too. Whether it's a birdie, par, or bogey, you'll love the Glen Oaks Golf Club. It's open to everyone. Visit the beautiful pro shop with driving range, snack bar, banquet facility, bar, picnic, shelter, and swimming pool. Great for group outings. Reserve your tee time by calling 828-428-2451 or visit the website at glenoaksgolf.com.
There's a storm coming. We may not know its path, but your independent auto owner's insurance agent knows no matter what happens, we'll be there when you need us most. Strong through every storm. That's how it's been for our first 100 years, and how it will be for generations to come.
Your local auto owner's insurance agency is East Lincoln Insurance Agency on Highway 16 in Denver. Call 704-483-3243.
And back here at Gurley Stadium here for the Carolina Trust Bank First Federal Savings Bank Stadium pregame show, a part of the Ronaldo Automall broadcast here on LincolnCounty.com and YouTube. Ken, now we're going to be focusing on the North Lincoln Knights, and it's been a rough couple of weeks after beating Lake Norman Charter to win their first conference game under Coach Pack. They had the lead against East Lincoln 31-7 at home and then lost in the second half blunder, and it kind of carried on to last week after going against an undefeated Maiden team.
Yeah, it appeared they had a hangover after losing that heartbreaker to East Lincoln, a game that I'm sure they feel like they had and could have won. And last week was the first week that North Lincoln just didn't have that spark on offense. Maiden did an excellent job. I think part of it was that there was a little bit of hangover for North Lincoln.
Yeah, you say that they just didn't have the offensive spark. Before last week's game, Ken, the least amount of points North Lincoln scored was 26, and that was against Fred T. Ford back in August. And then they only scored 6 last week against Maiden. And even Fred T. Ford, they're a pretty darn good team this year. They've actually exceeded expectations. So, I mean, North Lincoln, it's been said before and it's going to be said again, they haven't closed out games. They had the one. They should have had the one against Fred T. Ford. They led 19-3. They scored a touchdown against Alexander Central, who's still undefeated, but it was called back due to a false start. They had the game against Bessemer City multiple times in those last 5 minutes, but lost, and they're also undefeated. I mean, and let's see, East Lincoln, you're leading 31-7. So those are 4 out of the 6 losses have been within a touchdown. I mean, this is probably what you're going to get when you have a team that is extremely young trying to just regroup after so much struggle. I was looking it up and researching. Since Matt Beam has left North back in 2000, before the 2009 season, since then, North has only won 23 games. They've won 23-72. and Matt Beam at North Lincoln won 30 games in 4 years. So, I mean, it just shows you how much this program has been struggling since Matt left.
And it's very frustrating, I'm sure, to Steve Pack and his staff to be so close and just 1 or 2 plays away in so many games. And after a while, that takes your toll on you. You know, you can say, yeah, be motivated, we're right there, we can do it, but that gets old after a while and it wears you down when you can't quite get over that hump.
Yeah, and I will say there is seems like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The JV squad has been pretty good this year. Almost beat Maiden last week, and then they shut out Newton-Conover last night. They've got a pretty good JV squad, got some real good defensive linemen, and that's something that I know Coach Ludwig and Coach Schneider are looking forward to next year and the next year and the next year, because they've got some real good players like Travali Price and Gabriel Youngblood, just to name a few, that will be very key pieces to North Lincoln in the future. All right, so without further ado, Ken, we're going to go to our classic Ford and Lincoln of Shelby players to watch. You will take North Lincoln, and I will have Newton-Conover's player to watch.
Okay, the player to watch for North Lincoln, I think it's got to be the QB, the quarterback, Reed McCory. He's got to have a good game for North Lincoln to have a chance for an upset here. So we'll choose him as the player to watch on North Lincoln.
Especially after holding on to the ball a lot longer than he should have last week. Gave up stacked 6 to 8 times. So it was definitely a rough week for him last week. All right, with the situation that's going on, we don't know what this running back, Alan Wilfong, is going to bring to Newton-Conover just yet. So he's going to be our Newton-Conover Classic Ford Lincoln of Shelby player to watch. It's going to be definitely interesting to see what he does here tonight in his first start on offense.
I'm sure he'll have some opportunities because they like to run the ball first and pass if they can, but they'll try to run it, I think, initially. So he'll get his opportunities.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're missing Tyler Stinson tonight. Tyler Stinson has, coming into this game, he had 97 carries, already over 1,000 yards, under 100 carries. That is amazing. An average of 10 yards per carry and 19 touchdowns, and he's not playing tonight. So that is definitely going to be interesting to see. The guy that is the core of your offense, really him and Shamar Baker, the core. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here tonight. Without any further ado, we want to remind everyone that we have other games on our broadcast schedule tonight. We'll have Shelby at East Gaston. You can catch that one on KTCBroadcasting.com and YouTube. Also, the other Lincolnton game is it'll be Lincolnton has their homecoming tonight at Lake Norman Charter. That is currently on WLON 1050 AM as Lincolnton's trying to get a late push to try to make the playoffs and maybe get a high seed in the conference. Also on WOHS tonight, it'll be Burns taking on Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain trying to stay afloat before they face Crest, and you know that's going to be a tough matchup as Crest is at North Gaston tonight. Cherville is playing Highland Tech. So those are our broadcast games tonight. You can catch them on KTCBroadcasting.com or on WOHS 1390 AM, WLON 1050 AM, and WCSL 1590 AM. And be sure after these games to listen to the Ronaldo Automall postgame show with Kevin, Dennis Davis, Will Boykins, and a whole host of crew will be coming in from 10 to 12 on all 4 of our stations, including YouTube. All right, Ken, that'll wrap up our First Federal Savings Bank Stadium pregame show. When we come back, we'll have the coin toss and kickoff. Yeah, we'll be right back.
It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Automall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
I said where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken, where I come from.
It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing, plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR, plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, with 3 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, and Vail. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. The Can-Ams have arrived at Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln. They're big, they're bold, and they're now in stock at Al Lane Motorsports. See the new 2018 Can-Am Maverick X3 or the new 2018 Can-Am Outlander 1000 XMR. Ask about special financing on selected 2017 models. Al Lane Motorsports, your new Can-Am dealer, serving Lincoln, Gaston, Cleveland, and surrounding counties. Online at allanemotorsports.com.
And back here at Newton-Conover High School Gurley Stadium, as we are just almost underway for kickoff here between the Newton-Conover Red Devils and the Knights of North Lincoln, as the captains for Newton-Conover have come out and are at the 50-yard line, as the North Lincoln captains are also coming out right now. But first, Ken, let's see who the captains are for Newton-Conover tonight.
Number 62 for Newton-Conover, and that would be Barrett Harkins. Also number 53, which would be Zen Osis. Number 6, Tony Wells. And number 4, Shamar Baker.
All right, and they're under all red uniforms. It's a red out here for the Red Devils with the the North Carolina logo on one side, and of course Matt Beam always likes the numbers on his helmet somewhere, so it's on the left side of his helmet. For North Lincoln tonight, it'll be number 74. That is Wyatt Painter. Number 30, David Schmerber. Number 11, Ryan Dolan. And, of course, our classic Ford Lincoln of Shelby player to watch, Reed McCrory. And North Lincoln is debuting their new blue pants tonight, along with their new white jerseys that they've got, and a black helmet that debuted this year. So the new look Knights in terms of jerseys, as they're getting more combinations now.
Look sharp out there in that new dress.
Yeah, I heard about them. They just came in this week, so they're excited about wearing some new jerseys, some new pants, and looking forward to looking fresh out there tonight. Let's see if it can translate onto the field to good play here as we're waiting coin toss here.
Still a few folks coming in for North Lincoln on the other side over there.
Yeah, pretty solid sized crowd out here. This is the first time North Lincoln and Newton-Conover have ever met in football. And of course, the big story from tonight's game is that Matt Beam is going against his former stomping ground of North Lincoln High School for the first time in history after coaching there from 2005 to 2008. Of course, he's coached with a couple of these guys on both sidelines in the past. Ponder he coached with at Burns, who's his defensive coordinator now. Of course, the head coach, Stephen Pack, he's returning to Newton-Conover for the first time tonight, as he's the head coach at North Lincoln now. The defensive line coach, who has been with Matt since the start from 2005 to 2011, the D-line coach, Mark Ludwig, he's on North Lincoln's sidelines. Of course, Coach Peterson, who came to North Lincoln when Matt Beam was there in 2007, he's the offensive coordinator. He's been there. He's been under Matt Beam's system. So a lot of familiarity between both teams as North Lincoln will kick off to start the first half, and Newton-Conover will have the ball first. So the defense for North Lincoln is going to be tested quite early here, Ken.
Yes, right out of the gate. We'll see if they can slow down this Newton-Conover offensive machine.
Now the students have gotten onto the field, awaiting the arrival of the 7-1 Red Devils, who are currently in a three-way tie for first place in the South Fork 2A Conference. As we've said the last few years, it's been a great non-conference schedule, great non-conference start for Newton-Conover, but they've kind of fumbled in the conference play. But this year they have gotten both the non-conference and conference schedule play right, with winning games almost every one of them except for the High Brighton game on the road, which they should have won that one too.
Yes, that was a game that they dominated for most of the game, and second half couldn't quite make the plays.
Well, here come the Red Devils being introduced by their band. The students running off the field now. Both teams have gone onto the field and getting adjusted on the sidelines. And if you're just joining us now, North Lincoln will be kicking off. We want to thank our title sponsor for sponsoring tonight's game, Ronaldo Automall. You can get yourself a Honda, a Kia, a GMC, Buick, and Cadillac, and I think they're reopening their Honda dealership tomorrow, and Calvin and the gang will be there giving away some hot dogs from City Lunch, I believe, or Subway sandwiches, one of the two. That'll be starting from 10 to 2 tomorrow. And of course, Ken, you've got yourself a remote tomorrow in downtown Lincoln.
Yes, Tim Johnson and myself will be in downtown Lincoln. They have some type of, I think, an arts festival, Oktoberfest type thing going on, and we'll be there from 11 till 2:15. Come by and see us, and we'll talk about anything you want to, as well as sports.
All right, both teams now getting off onto the field, receiving last words from coaches. And now it'll be North Lincoln kicking off to Newton-Conover. Kicking off for the Knights of North Lincoln is number 34, Christian Delaney. Back deep for the Red Devils is number 5, Miles Baker, and number 7, Chris Hardis.
Okay, we're ready to go here as North Lincoln is preparing to kick off.
Looks like they're going to maybe do an onside or pooch kick here. This is something we haven't seen since last year when Caleb Brown and Hayes Irvings were kickers for North Lincoln. Jack Delaney does have a leg on him, but let's see what they're going to do here. They're going to go an onside kick. It gets right below the knees. It's going to be a scramble for the ball, but I think Newton-Conover got it.
Yes, looked like they fell on it, fumbled it just for a split second, but then fell right on it, and they'll take over there, it looks like, on their own 48-yard line.
It's a great field position for the Red Devils. North Lincoln trying to catch Newton-Conover off guard. It looked like it got in between the legs of Tony Wales, so nice job of hanging on there. And that gives Newton-Conover great field position, almost at midfield, as Ken said. First down and 10 for the Red Devils. It's going to be shotgun formation, trips to the right side as Baker giving some information to one of his wide receivers. North Lincoln in their 4-3 defense, awaiting the play. Baker's going to drop back pass. It's going to be a quick curl route. It's going to be caught by number 19, who's going to be forced out of bounds, as that was caught by number 19.
Don't have number 19 on the roster we have here, so that may have been somebody they brought up from the JVs here recently.
Well, nonetheless, that'll be an Al Lanes Kubota first down, already less than half a minute into the ball game. Newton-Conover's gotten into North Lincoln territory, in large part due to the onside kick. It's trips to the right, same formation as the last play. The tackle's trying to get the play call from Coach Beam, and now gets set up in his three-point stance. And now Baker's going to hand it off to his new running back, and he's got a lot of room. He's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown. Red Devils, what a way to start the ball game for your first carry if you're Alan Wilfong, the classic Florida Shelby and Lincoln player to watch in his first carry of the ball game. And his first start goes over 40 yards to the house.
That's a 43-yard Silver Point Holmes touchdown for the Red Devils.
And Wilfong, as we said, getting the start tonight for Tyler Stinson, and he's making his impact felt right away. Just got that big hole going on to the outside, and of course North Lincoln struggled with the outside run game last night in the JV game, and Coach Matt Beam looked to exploit that on the second play from scrimmage, and that's what he did for a touchdown. Now the point after attempt is up, and it is good. So, less than 30 seconds into the ball game, Newton-Conover already up 7-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
Ram Power Days. They're underway at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lincoln. Get $1,000 Power Days bonus cash on select 2017 models. Now get up to $11,971 in total value on the new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models. Or get 0% APR for 72 months on the new Ram 2017 1500 models. Come in now for all the details and save big during Ram Power Days. Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, and Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
And back here at Newton-Conover, well, Daquan Camp took the ball in the end zone, can't return it after that in high school. So North Lincoln will have the ball at their own 20-yard line to start things off. And here comes out into the field our classic forward, Lincoln of Shelby, player to watch for North Lincoln, Reed McCrory, who struggled last week against Maiden. But, of course, been a kind of a career renaissance here for the senior after being under center almost every snap in his 3 years prior, has been gunslinging it this year, Ken.
Yes, and it's important on this first drive if North Lincoln can get a drive going. And, of course, they'd love to answer that touchdown, but they need to at least grind out some first downs and not just turn this ball back over to Newton-Conover.
Well, 2 wide outs are already outside on the far side, which actually trips to the right. Looked like a bunch formation, and Reed McCory's going to roll out to his right. Now going to throw high over the head of Daquan Camp into out of bounds. It's going to be an incomplete pass.
Newton-Conover had the rush coming at him. He had to unload it quickly and a little bit off target.
And now it's going to be 2nd down and 10. McCrory coming into this game has over 1,500 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Completion percentage isn't the best at 56.7%, but for a guy who was barely passing it all, as he's going to hand it off to Clayton Cribb, and he's hit in the backfield immediately by a host of Red Devils. And, man, nowhere for Clayton Cribb to go on that one, as it looks like number 25, Kylan Bradshaw, the sophomore, got into the backfield unscathed.
Yes, it was actually 2 Red Devils waiting on him. He didn't have a chance to make anything out of that. It's a loss on the play of 3 yards.
So that's going to make it 3rd down and 13. Obviously a passing down here. This is where North Lincoln has struggled in the last few weeks. In the second half, since the second half of East Lincoln, they've been having a lot of 3rd and longs, and it hasn't helped them whatsoever. Let's see what McCrory can do. Empty backfield. Trips to the right. McCrory going to drop back and pass. He's under pressure, trying to escape the pocket.
Got away.
He got away from the pocket now, trying to find a man downfield. Now he's going to take it for himself. He's going to get the 1st down.
Great scramble by Reed McCrory.
Man, almost sacked about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and instead he got, it hasn't officially been called a 1st down, but it's right at the marker, so it should be a 1st down, and it will be an Al Lanes Kubota 1st down, and that is huge for North Lincoln not to go 3 and out, Ken.
Yes, it is, and a big play on 3rd and 13. Right at the 30.
Clayton Cribb to McCrory's left, and they're going to hand it off to Clayton Cribb. Cribb's got a little hold this time, going to get across the line of scrimmage, get met at about the 35-yard line, and be stopped right there. So better gain this time for Clayton Cribb, who in less than 12 hours is going to be in Maryland, as he'll be taking an official visit to Navy tomorrow, as he'll be on the recruiting trail for the next few weeks, including trips to Wake Forest and Army. As it's definitely shown this year. As coming into this game, Clayton Cribb had 126 carries for 891 yards and 10 touchdowns. Now it's going to 2nd and 5. Reed McCrory going to drop back and pass, scrambling a little bit. Now he's almost sacked, escaping the pressure, going to throw it away out of bounds, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5. And Ken, right now, Reed McCrory barely having enough time to really relax in the pocket before someone's coming right in his face.
Yeah, he did good to get away and then just throw it away so he wouldn't have to take the sack. But he's certainly playing well so far to get away from the tough rush that's coming at him. They're back about 3rd and 5 now.
Yeah, 3rd and 5, ball just ahead of the 35-yard line. Got to get to the 40 to keep this drive alive. And here we go. It's going to be a quick screen pass to senior Caleb Hawley. It's thrown low. It's going to be incomplete. Would have not made a difference if Caleb Hawley called it. That would have actually been a loss of 1. So that's going to bring up 4th and 5 coming up for the Knights. As that's actually the first pass that, or first time that Reed McCrory's gotten close enough to throw to a receiver. The other incomplete passes have been throwaways.
So it's going to bring up a 4th and 5, a punting situation.
Well, except the offense is still out there for North Lincoln. They got plenty of time on the play clock. Let's see what they're going to do here. Going to go for the hard count.
And they got him.
They got him, except there's no flag out there. Looks like they said he got back in time. I don't know about that one. But now that really throws a wrench in the plan of Coach Pack and the Knights. Now McCrory's looked like he's going to back up a little bit and punt, but there's a late flag, and that's going to be a delay of game.
It really looked like Newton-Conover jumped off sides, but maybe they didn't make contact and they got back smoke.
That's probably what it was there. It did look like from our vantage point that they did jump off sides. I even saw some of the coaches, including Coach Beam, jump up and down, was very frustrated. But looks like a good break there for Newton-Conover, as that'll move North Lincoln back 5 yards and get better field position for the Red Devils.
Standing back near the 16-yard line is where the punter will be receiving the snap.
Yeah, that looks like it's Zach Rhodes punting, and Shamar Baker will be back deep. A good punt with some good hang time, and Shamar Baker is going to call a fair catch. Nice job there. Actually, Reed McCrory was the one punting. So the quarterback's got himself, quarterback punted to the quarterback there. Not often you say that.
No, and Newton-Conover will start at their own 34-yard line. Not quite as good field position as they had the first drive. Let's see if North Lincoln can stop Newton-Conover and keep them from going down and getting another score.
Yeah, not as good field position as the last one. They were about 20 yards ahead at this point on the start of the first drive is Shamar Baker getting a play call from Coach Matt Beam. It's going to be 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And in the backfield along with Baker is Wilfong, the sophomore running back, who scored the 43-yard touchdown on the first drive. Here comes the play. It's going to be a fake to Wilfong. Going to be a throw over the middle. Incomplete high throw to Jaheim Mullen. Caleb Holly was looking for the hit. If he wasn't looking for the hit, he might have picked that one off, Ken.
Yes, if he would have saw that one coming, he may have got it. But it was fired pretty fast, and as you said, it was overshot his receiver. The receiver didn't have a chance.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was pretty open. I know Caleb Holly was closing in on him, but he would have at least gotten the ball in his hands if it was a better throw by Baker. Just would have depended on the hit. But now it's 2nd down and 10. That's actually the first time Newton-Conover hasn't had a positive gain on the offensive play so far. 2 by 1. They're going to hand it off to Wilfong. No, a read option fake, but
there's nothing doing.
Nothing doing. A nice stop there by linebacker David Schmerber on the play.
Gain of 1, it looks like. So Shamar Baker with a keeper after he faked it, and only a gain of yard. And we got a 3rd and, well, they're marking it like, I think it's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, it looks a little like the way they're marking it's like about 3rd and 8, though.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 where the way they marked it, gain of 2 on that play.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what makes this Newton-Conover offense so dangerous is they could give it to either one. Shamar Baker could take it, or you could give it to Wilfong there, and you'd most likely win in those scenarios, but that time they just didn't. A great play by Schmerber. A big 3rd down coming up, but Coach Matt Beam's going to call a timeout here. That's the first charge timeout of the half for the Red Devils, and we'll take a quick timeout too.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki Sub. Tuesday, the Oven Roasted Chicken Sub. Wednesday, the Turkey Breast Sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT Sub. Friday, the Tuna Sub. Saturday, the Black Forest Ham Sub. And Sunday, the Meatball Marinara Sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boulder City and the Walmart in Lincolnton.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
Back here at Gurley Stadium, big 3rd down coming up here for Newton-Conover as Shamar Baker going to drop back and pass. Going to throw right over the middle, and it's a drop pass. Ernie Squirrels had it right in his hands. It was in between the coverage, but could not hang on to it.
Yeah, that was a sure first down of 15, 20 yards. And right there, he just couldn't hold on to the pass.
I mean, Baker put it right where he needed to, right in that bread basket. It just somehow Squirrels dropped it, and I got to say, last night that was a problem in the JV game for Newton-Conover, too. Had a man wide open last night, 20 yards in between him and the defender, and he dropped it. So it's been a tough time this week for Newton-Conover receivers in catching the ball.
So Newton-Conover has to punt here on a 4th and 9.
Francisco Tapia will be kicking a low snap there.
Good kick.
Yeah, but Daquan Camp backing off, not wanting to return that. And it's going to take a little bit of a Newton-Conover bounce inside the 20-yard line to the 19-yard line, and that's where North Lincoln will have the ball.
Second possession for North Lincoln. Let's see if they can move this one. They got 1 first down last possession. And they've got it back, and this is a good opportunity for them to go down and see if they can answer that first score that Newton-Conover put on the scoreboard.
Well, Ken, this time the offensive line is going to have to give as much protection as possible to Reed McCrory, as he's having to dance around looking like Fran Tarkenton in the backfield right now.
And he's done a good job doing that, but I don't know whether he can do it all night.
This has been a rare instance this year. Reed McCrory under center. It's going to be a handoff to Clayton Cribb right up the middle. He's being dragged down by his jersey. Gets about 1 or 2 yards on the play before being stopped by the Red Devils. Looks like number 40, Jordan Thompson, another sophomore, on the stop. As if you've seen this Newton-Conover team, they're still very young, as we said earlier. A lot of sophomores starting in this game for the Red Devils.
A gain of 2 on the play to bring up a 2nd and 8. We're just over the 20-yard line.
Yeah, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ryan Dolan line up at tight end. McCrory going to drop back and pass, going to throw it, pump fake as he was under pressure. Now he's trying to escape the pocket, going to throw it out to the flats of Clayton Cribb. Clayton Cribb escapes one tackler, jukes.
Another one.
And he's steamrolling through defenders. And he'll be finally dropped down at about the 27, 28-yard line. North Lincoln having to fight for every yard so far early on in this game.
That's only a 6 or 7 yard game, but boy, he had to fight for every bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, Clayton, nice job by Reed McCrory going to the flats there after feeling the pressure. He would have been sacked if he would have held on a second longer. Clayton Cribb, nice job of creating some separation and getting some yardage out of that, which makes it 3rd and short, only 1 yard to go. But, of course, it's been hard to earn yards so far for the Knights. Reed McCrory under center, Clayton Cribb about 3 yards back. It's going to be a handoff to Clayton Cribb, who's going to bounce it out, but nowhere to go, still being trying to be tackled, and he's finally going to be brought down around the original line of scrimmage at the start of this drive at the 19-yard line. Just nowhere for Clayton Cribb to go.
No, he was trying to circle around and find some room, but the pursuit was too much. He couldn't get away from it.
I mean, honestly, he probably would have been better off just trying to stay under that offensive line.
Yes.
But, you know, you're trying to get that first down. You're fighting for everything you got, and it just didn't work there. So it'll be a 3-and-out after Newton-Conover's 3-and-out. Shamar Baker waiting to punt at the Newton-Conover 48-yard line from quarterback Reed McCrory. And a good snap for McCrory. And another pretty good punt, not as much hang time, so Baker's probably going to return it. Actually gets past Baker, and Baker's...
He better get over it.
He better get on the ball. Wow. He finally does, but the ball was originally supposed to be around the 45-yard line of Newton-Conover, but with that North Lincoln bounce and Baker touching it, Newton-Conover is going to set up shop at their 30-yard line. That's costly there.
It ended up being a great punt, sort of as it was misfielded by Baker. It looked like he got a finger on it, and then he had to go back and really fall on it so that he wouldn't lose the possession there.
We're about halfway through the opening quarter here at Gurley Stadium tonight. Newton-Conover with an early 7-0 lead thanks to a 43-yard touchdown run by Alan Wilfong. Now it'll be the third drive for the Red Devils here. Double wides as Wilfong to the right of Baker. And Baker going to take the snap, going to hand it off to Wilfong, who's going to the left. He's being held. He's still on his way. He breaks a couple tackles as a host of Knights trying to bring him down. They finally do at about the Newton-Conover 37-yard line. But what looked like a game of 1 or 2 turns out to be a gain of about 6 or 7 on the play.
Tough running there. There was some missed tackles on that play. It should have been stopped for only a gain of a yard or 2.
I mean, Wilfong's not that big. He's only 5'9", 175 pounds, but he looked like a Mack truck on that play as 4 or 5 Knights had to bring him down. That says a lot about the young kid there.
2nd and 3 for the Red Devils.
Double wides yet again. Baker waiting to snap. Schmerber almost jumped. Baker going to try to get a screen pass. He gets it to Miles Baker. Baker's got a blocker ahead of him, but that looks like Caleb Brown got ahead of that blocker and tripped him up for the tackle at the 47-yard line. That's going to be good enough for an Al Lanes Kubota first down.
About a 10-yard gain on that play. Baker to Baker.
Yeah, Baker, both Bakers are only juniors. I mean, this is the scary thing about it. You would think with a team like this that they'd be graduating all their starters this year, but they're not.
All the names we're calling are pretty much juniors.
And sophomores, yeah. Hardly any seniors. Going to be a fake to Wilfong. Going to be a screen pass high.
Oh.
And not the best throw there by Baker. Is a little bit under pressure by David Schmerber. The pass was intended for number 18, who we still don't have his name. But it was a high throw and nice coverage as well by Daquan Camp and Caleb Hawley, who made sure in case he didn't caught that ball, he would lay a hit on him. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Red Devils. Ball at their own 47-yard line. And ever since Matt Beam took the head coaching job at Burns, he's been running no huddle. The only time he even had a huddle was when he was at North Lincoln. He was running the I formation. 2nd down and 10. It's going to be a fake to the running back. Baker going to take it for himself right up the middle, cutting up to the right. He's got the first down and more, trying to find some room, cutting up to the left, cutting up to the right, still on his feet somehow. He's at the 30-yard line, the 20-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
Blockers ahead of him, trying to jump over the defender, finally forced out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
What a run.
I mean, just patience there by Shamar Baker. Got some blockers ahead of him, just juking through defenders. His footwork is phenomenal, folks. And he got that big gain there for Newton-Conover to get inside the red zone for an Al Lanes Kubota first down.
Unbelievable run on that play. He kept dodging and shaking and baking, and A long run all the way down to the 5-yard line for Shamar Baker.
So after the big run for Shamar Baker to have it at their own 6-yard line, they're a little bit more bunched up here. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And Will Fong's in the backfield to the right of Baker. Here comes the snap. It's going to be a read option to Will Fong, who gets to the outside, 1 man to beat, and he beats that man, and he gets into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. Alan Wilfong having himself a night here early on.
Another Silver Point Holmes touchdown for the Newton-Conover Red Raiders.
Well, a flag was on the field, and the touchdown will still stand, but as the flag is waved off, and touchdown Red Devils to give them a 13-0 lead, and let's see if they're going to go for it here, as Matt Bean usually does this type of weird formation that we originally saw from Oregon back in the early 2010s. As North Lincoln's also run this formation a little bit too. Let's see what they're going to do here. Baker and Wilfong are in the backfield. Got a man going in motion. It's going to be an end around to that young man right there, and he's going to dive into the end zone for a touchdown. That was Brendan Barlow, the junior.
Barlow.
And a 2-point conversion is good. Newton-Conover now leads 15-0 over North Lincoln.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Back here at Gurley Stadium, we're on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Newton-Conover leads over North Lincoln 15-0. Just got a score update from Maiden and East Lincoln. A big game tonight in the South Fork 2A Conference as Maiden is off to an early 8-0 lead. As another kickoff here, Daquan Camp looks to return it, but he's behind the end zone, so that'll be another touchback. Another nice kick by Francisco Tapia.
He's got a strong leg. He's put it in the end zone both times. North Lincoln starts again on their own 20. They need to get some offense going here, Evan, or the game's going to get away from them pretty early.
Yeah.
Here we're still 4:59 left in the first quarter.
And it's weird. I just saw Francisco Tapia, looked him up. That's the first senior we've really called out tonight for Newton-Conover. It's first down and 10, as Ken said, at the 20-yard line. And this time, Newton-Conover will be called for an offside penalty. Has a nice hard count call by Reed McCrory, and nice job by the whole line, just not flinching whatsoever.
And he brought about 3 Red Devils across the line on that hard count.
Yeah, so that makes it a little bit easier. Get 5 yards and still 1st and 5. As North Lincoln just trying to find a little bit of just rhythm on that offense, as they've had to fight for every yard they've gotten. Here we go, 1st and 5. Newton-Conover almost jumped offsides again.
Yeah, it got back.
That was almost what we saw on that 4th down earlier in the ball game. But they say they got back, didn't get across the neutral zone. As 4 left on the play clock, Reed McCoy going to have to hurry as he changes the play call. Going to be a handoff to Clayton Cribb, who finally finds a crease on the outside, but it closes quickly for about a 2-yard gain, as that's really been the summary so far. Whenever Clayton Cribb finds an opening, it just closes right immediately.
That's the quickness of that Red Devil defense. They got good athletes out there, and they close quickly. And the holes don't seem to stay there long.
Yeah, it'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up here for tonight's ball at their own 26-yard line. As it'll be trips to the right side here. Caleb Hawley, the lone wide receiver on the near side of the field. Hard count doesn't work this time. Got less than 10 on the play clock. Reed McCory tells the play call right now. Now gets a pass, going to drop back under some pressure immediately. Now throwing it downfield wide open. It looks like Jake Sarouse. Sarouse trying to get some room, still on his feet, and finally is brought down at the 39-yard line. The sophomore with a clutch catch there to get an Al Lanes Kubota first down.
That's about a 15, 16-yard gain on that pass play. He had him open, and he shake and bake and trying to make a little extra yardage, but got plenty for the first down.
Yeah, Jake Sarouse, another young star, Florida Knights, was a star on the JV team last year, has been doing a little bit of running back and wide receiver this year for Florida Knights, and that time he came up huge for his 11th catch. First down and 10. McCrory now throwing to the flats where Sarouse is out again. Now he's trying to shake and bake again, gets a good amount of yards on the play, and now looks like North Lincoln might be finding their rhythm. So that's a gain of about 7 or 8 on the play. As McCrory has been doing quick checkdowns, got a quick check down as we're having some substitutions now for North Lincoln. It's coming into the game are guys like number 35, Jacob Harmon, who caught his first touchdown pass last week. So only 2 wideouts set right now. It'll be Zach Rhodes and Caleb Holly, as Harmon will be used as an H-back here. Now here comes the play, going to be a handoff to Clayton Cribb. Cribb's got some room across the 50, across the 45, and brought down at the 43-yard line. So that's the first time we've seen North Lincoln get the run game going besides that one play from Reed McCrory.
Yeah, a gain of about 10 on that running play. Nice hold there for Cribb, who made the most of it.
So that'll be another Al Lanes Kubota first down, as now the Knights have gotten into Newton-Conover territory for the first time tonight, as they're getting a play call from Coach Stephen Pack.
Be first and 10 on the 43-yard line of the Red Devils.
Jacob Harmon still in as the H-back behind the guard for the Knights. Caleb Holly going in motion. It's going to be an end around to Caleb Holly, and Caleb Holly is going to be tripped up at about the 39-yard line, as Clayton Cribb was trying to get a block on that one defender, but he was able to juke him out and get there. That's still going to be a pretty solid gain of about 3 or 4.
Yes, a good play on that. They had a little bit of room. It looked like it maybe could have gone for a little more yardage, but that's a good gain on first down.
So now ball at the Newton-Conover 39-yard line. Second down and 6 coming up as they'll flip Harmon to the other side of the line. It's going to be another handoff to Clayton Cribb, who's hitting the backfield, and he's still on his feet trying to fight for yards. He's actually going to get a gain of yards here, dragging defenders with him.
Close to the first down.
And I think he got the first down here, Ken.
Very close to it, if not.
And oh my gosh, I think he got the Al Lanes Kubota first down. We're waiting the official decision. It's going to be, and they do. They will give him an Al Lanes Kubota first down. What an amazing play there by Clayton Cribb.
Great run. Just kept fighting, would not go down. A hard fought first down.
And Ken, that's what Clayton's going to have to do for the rest of this ball game. He's going to have to fight for every yard he gets.
So we've got first and 10 from the 33-yard line of Newton-Conover.
And now, bobble snap as it gets behind Reed McCory, and he's drilled in the backfield by number 8, Jaheim Mullen. The snap got to the little bit to the left and got out of Reed McCory's hands, and that could be a backbreaker there, Ken.
Big loss, and he was on it immediately, but the Red Devil pursuit was right on top of him. He didn't have a chance. In fact, he's fortunate to hold on to that football, not fumble it.
It was a very hard hit there by Jaheim Mullen, who was right on Johnny on the spot, laying down that hit, and it's going to be a loss of over 10, about 12 yards they lost on that play due to the bad snap. So an empty backfield now. Trips to the left, trying to get yardage back, and once again, it looks like they're not calling that neutral zone call. And now flag is thrown, and I think, let's see if this call is going to be. It was thrown pretty late after the hard count.
And the refs are discussing it, so.
They got right into the neutral zone. So, North's been trying to run that thing all night long, and it's only worked once. That's when they completely went past the line of scrimmage.
Still waiting for an official to give us a call here. It's against North Lincoln. Oh, someone must have said something. It's
unsportsmanlike. I think the frustration setting in and not getting those calls on the hard counts. I know they're getting across the line, so that's probably frustrating there. That'll move North Lincoln back into their own territory. So what was looking like a promising drive for the Knights has just turned into a nightmare.
I think it's like 2nd and 42. It's unbelievably. They're way back on their own. Looks like 40-yard line.
So trips to the left with Zach Rhodes all by himself on the right. Some pressure being brought up. Reed McCory now scrambling, and he fumbled the ball, and it's going to be fallen on by, looks like North Lincoln luckily fell on it, but they did lose 5 yards on the play. Reed McCory, once he just drops back, he immediately finds pressure, and in a situation like this, Ken, they got to give him some time to throw the ball downfield.
It's a sack. Looked like another loss of about 6 yards on the sack.
So that'll bring up 3rd and a pumpkin center mile here for North Lincoln. Ball at their own 34-yard line. They were inside the Newton-Conover 40-yard line before a bad first down play on the snap that got through Reed McCory's hands, and then an unsportsmanlike penalty on the sidelines. It's an empty setback here. McCory, screen pass. It's going to be high to Zach Rhodes. First catch of the ball game. He gets tripped up from behind and barely gets any yardage on the play.
Yeah, it looks like he may have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard.
So what was once a promising drive, and that'll end the first quarter, actually, where Newton-Conover leads 15-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln and Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. When it's time to call your order in for your special event, call the Chuck Wagon Grill for any occasion. They'll cater to your every need. They'll even bring it to your doorstep. And be sure to check out their prime rib. It's absolutely out of this world good. The Chuck Wagon Grill is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with some great daily lunch and dinner specials. Be sure to check out their homemade soup on cool days ahead. For your catering, call 704-732-4777. The Chuck Wagon Grill, 3051 Highway 27, east of Lincoln.
And back here at Newton-Conover Gurley Field, where North Lincoln's going to punt it after they had a promising drive turn completely sour real quick. And Ken, just nothing, luck's not really falling North Lincoln's way so far.
No, that was very disappointing after a promising looking drive. A big sack and a big penalty just put them way behind the sticks. Punting here.
Be Reed McCrory as he'll punt it to Shamar Baker. That'll probably be the worst punt that McCrory's had, but it's still going to give.
It gives a good roll.
Yeah, it gets a real good roll. Rolls about 20 yards, and that'll be stopped at the Newton-Conover 25-yard line. That's actually going to be the worst field position that Newton-Conover's had tonight.
And North Lincoln defense had some rest. Let's see if they can come out and stop or slow down this Newton-Conover offense.
And just got a score update. Maiden now leading 15-0 over East Lincoln, and Lincolnton leading over Lake Norman Charter 21-0. As that's their homecoming tonight. You can catch that game on WLON 1050 a.m. As it'll be trips to the left, starting things out here for Shamar Baker and the Newton-Conover offense, with Wilfong in the backfield, and it's going to be a fake to Wilfong. Shamar Baker going to take it for himself, and he's got a quite nearly 9 yards before he's brought down by Jake Sarouse and Caleb Hawley on the play. Make it 2nd down and 1.
Nice gain again by Baker, who makes things happen when he carries the football.
Yeah, it wasn't like that last carry that almost went in for a touchdown, but still it was effective. Got nearly the first down on one carry. And it's just that read option so dangerous with a guy like Shamar Baker in the backfield. And now here comes the pass play for Shamar Baker. He's looking down deep.
Throwing long.
And it's going to be caught by Jaheim Mullen. Now he's going to have to shake Caleb Brown, and he'll shake Caleb Brown. Sperber trying to chase him down. And Jaheim Mullen is going to score the touchdown.
Wow.
Well, we saw Shamar Baker get it done with his legs. That time he got it done with his arm. And a nice job by Jaheim Mullen shaking down defenders of Caleb Brown and David Schmerber to get the big touchdown play to put Newton-Conover up 21-0. early on in the second quarter.
That's a 67-yard touchdown pass play on that Silver Points home TD for Newton-Conover.
And that is Baker's 17th touchdown of the year. As this time they're going to go for the extra point here, as Francisco Tapia will be kicking it. Francisco Tapia, excuse me. As we've seen, he's had a leg. All of his kicks have went into the end zone for a touchback. A low snap that bobbled a little bit, but the kick is good nonetheless. And Newton-Conover now goes up 22-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. You're watching high school football on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Drew, this new city just makes me miss home, man.
Go get a sweet tea from McDonald's. They make it fresh, sweet, and it's icy cold, just like your mom's.
But I miss home.
Oh, so you miss your mom telling you to make sure your room's clean? Or
Close the fridge, Ryan, and stop letting all the cool air out. Or turn them lights off,
All
Ryan.
right, got it. The sweet tea is just right. But you know I'm going to tell my mom you got jokes.
No, don't.
This is no joke. Stop by McDonald's and get a large sweet tea for just $1 all summer long. Large sweet tea, just $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
Having trouble finding a car or truck at a price you can afford? Your troubles are over when you stop in at Milholland Automotive in Lincoln. At Milholland Automotive in Lincoln, they make buying a pre-owned vehicle easy. No credit, no money to put down. Milholland Automotive has the banks to get you approved. Come see the selection today at Milholland Automotive, 423 West Main Street in Lincoln. Visit the website at milhollandautomotive.com for a complete list of inventory, or give them a call at 704-736-1000. That's Milholland Automotive in Lincoln.
Back here at Gurley Stadium, where Newton-Conover now leads 22-0. Got some other score updates. Correction, Lincolnton leads 19-0. Maiden leads 15-0 over East Lincoln, and Bandy's is leading 14-0 over West Lincoln. As another kick, another touchback for Francisco Tapia. As once again, starting field position for tonight's will be at their own 20-yard line. And Ken, it's now getting to the points where you're down more than 3 scores now. You got to get that offense going.
Yes, they had something promised. They had a promising drive going, and a big sack on a sort of a failed snap, 17-yard loss, and then a personal foul penalty. Just put them behind the sticks and ruined that drive.
Yeah, that unsportsmanlike penalty just ruined it.
Let's see if they can get something going here.
Got a little bit more of a bunch formation here. More linemen and tight ends. Going to be a handoff to Clayton Cribb on the left side. And Clayton Cribb barely gets a yard there on that play. So nothing really going on the front lines. As the story tonight has been Reed McCrory has been running all over the field trying to escape pressure on offense. He has gotten a couple of completions to Jake Sarouse, but that's about it. And did have a 13-yard run early on, but nothing really going for that North offense minus those two plays to Jake Sarouse and 2 or 3 good runs by Clayton Cribb so far. Got 2 wide outs still on the far side. Harmon as the H-back. Reed McCoy going to drop back. Actually got a good bit of time now. Now he's under pressure. Going to roll out. Tries to throw it, but he's sacked almost. Don't know how he didn't fumble that one.
Sacked on the 10-yard line.
And, of course, that was a problem last week for North Lincoln when they played Maiden. Gave up nearly 8 sacks, or 8 sacks they gave up. So it's been a problem for North Lincoln these last 2 weeks going against Newton-Conover and Maiden.
So now they're backed up to their 10. It's going to be a 3rd and 20. Not good. Too many plays in the playbook for something like this, 3rd and 20 on from your own 10.
Yeah, might just play it safe here and try to run it. Actually, they're going to pass it here. McCrory going to heave it deep to Zach Rhodes, and it's going to be a jump ball, and it was a little bit overthrown by about 5 yards. Nice job on the coverage there by number 5, Miles Baker. So it'll be a 3-and-out once again for North Lincoln. That's the second one they've had tonight.
And they'll have to put the ball back to Newton-Conover, where Newton-Conover is more than likely going to have excellent field position. You've got a Red Devil back around the 50-yard line waiting for the punt.
Yeah, that's actually, they've replaced Shamar Baker and put in Kaiwan McLean is now returning to punts. He's a junior. He's one of their leading receivers.
He's a young man, again, has good speed. I saw him against West Lincoln.
And the punt, it'll get to the 43-yard line, but won't really take a roll as North Lincoln will fall on it. So not really a return there for McLean, but still great field position. They're already in North Lincoln territory.
He'll begin on the North Lincoln 45-yard line. It's where the drive will start.
Yeah, first down and 10. It's getting to the point where Newton-Conover can really put this game out of reach with a touchdown here. And we're barely even a quarter of the way into the second quarter. Just having some substitutions as Tony Wells coming in for Miles Baker. It's going to be trips to the left. Shamar Baker and Will Fong in the backfield. As players have been run on, run off the field for Newton-Conover. Going to be a screen pass to number 19. And Caleb Brown can't get the tackle there. And now he's going to cut up the field now, trying to drag a defender with him. Finally brought down by Caleb Hawley inside the 35-yard line. That's number 19. We don't have a name for him as well.
No, I think he's been in on a couple plays, and unfortunately we don't have his name on the roster, so we don't know who that young man is, but he certainly looked good on that pass play. A gain of looks like 12, 13 yards on the play, and another Alain Kubota first down.
Yeah, a lot of Alain Kubota first downs here in tonight's ball game. Newton-Conover looking for the end zone yet again. They got trips to the right side here. Wilfong in the backfield with Baker, and it's going to be a handoff to Wilfong on the outside edge on the right side of the field. He's going to get across to 25 and get close to another Alain Kubota first down, but he's brought down by a couple of Knights on the play. Actually, number 19 is Ernie Squirrels. We have him listed as number 1. So that does make sense. Ernie Squirrels is their leading leader in sacks and one of the leaders in receiving, so they've actually changed his number.
Yeah, that's different than what we had, and
that actually makes sense now.
A gain by Wilfong of 9 yards. It brings up his 2nd and 1.
Trips to the left side with Squirrels on the far side. Going to be a fake to Wilfong. Going to be a screen. Actually, Wilfong actually has the ball. No, that's not Wilfong. That's another playmaker for Newton-Conover. That's a touchdown. That's Kaiwan McLean. Kaiwan McLean showing his speed, but late flags on the field. Looks like a scuffle between number 62 and a Knight on the play. Don't know who the penalty flag is going to be on as Matt Beam's trying to calm him down on the play. As now the officials having a discussion here. Matt Beam showing some frustration. He's wanting the call here. I think this will still count as a touchdown no matter what. A Silver Point Holmes touchdown. It's just probably a dead ball penalty. They're trying to cool down number 62 of Newton-Conover, Barrett Harkins, a senior.
Yeah, it looked like the flags came after he had already made it to the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like a little argument between Harkins and North Lincoln senior Ryan Dolan. There's a long discussion with the officials right at about the 20-yard line. The flag is spotted at about the 14-yard line.
And they're still discussing it.
It's been a very long discussion, folks, going on for about a minute now. I think they're finally going to be breaking it up here. Matt Beam has his guys on the sideline trying to tell them what's going to happen, getting ready for the kicking team here.
And we still don't have a signal, folks.
Well, they're writing it in their book, so it must be something pretty serious here.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're writing it in their scorebooks here. The officials, all 5 of them, are writing it in there. So it's probably something major here, folks. Let's see just awaiting official confirmation from the officials. And now they look like they're finally breaking up after about a minute and a half of discussion. And now let's see what the call is going to be. As the official's getting into a spot. It's a dead ball penalty. Well, now they're trying to get some second. The touchdown's still going to be good, as we thought. The dead ball. Personal foul against the Knights. So the Knights not helping themselves too, as that'll most likely be assessed on the kickoff.
So that's another Silver Point's home touchdown, a 23-yard run by Kaiwan McLean. McLean showing excellent speed on that play.
Well, and it just shows how deep Newton-Conover is at running back. They just bring him out there. You think it's Alan Wilfong, but instead it's Kaiwan McLean, another speedster running back who can definitely change the pace of the game, just like they got unlimited weapons.
And they're trying to line up here. It looks like they may go for 2. I don't know.
Well, they did earlier on in the ball game.
Still waiting for the call from the sidelines.
And it looks like they will be going for two because I don't see Francisco Tapia out on the field. Shamar Baker, a low snap. It's going to be a read option play, and they're going to not get the 2-point conversion. So the score will remain 28-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard on KTCBroadcasting.com.
The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
And back here at Gurley Stadium, where Newton-Conover now leads 28-0 over North Lincoln. And Ken, a penalty has been assessed to where Newton-Conover could make a decision here of what to do.
Yeah, they're kicking off from the North Lincoln 45-yard line.
And this was after a personal foul, a dead ball penalty against the Knights on the touchdown play. Tapia going to kick it deep, and that one could go for the uprights, just short of the uprights. Tapia almost had a 55-yard field goal. And, of course, Newton-Conover has such a great soccer program there that it can develop a couple of kickers and really, having a good kicker could really enhance your game, especially in high school.
Yes, and he's a good kicker, and he hasn't come into play as far as key field goals in a close game, but as you get further down the line in the playoffs, you may need that foot in a tight game.
Next week, possibly, when they play
Maiden.
Yes. So double wide set up here for North Lincoln. McCoy going to drop back and pass. Now going to heave the deep ball for Caleb Hawley. Underthrown. Oh, dropped once again. As that should have been an interception there by Shamar Baker. So it was an underthrown pass by Reed McCrory.
It was underthrown, and two Red Devils right there in front of him, and you said it was dropped. It very easily could have been a pick.
Yeah, but, if he would have hit that ball on target, that would have been gone for 6 there. That was the first time McCrory has even had a clear pocket and threw on that clear pocket. So now 2nd down and 10, trips to the right here for the Knights. Blitz coming on the left side, and the pressure rollout, Reed McCrory, and Daquan Campbell, a nice one-handed grab, and that's going to be a late flag on the field.
I think it's a hit out of bounds.
Yeah, it's going to be on Ernie Squirrels, as he thought he was just doing a clean hit, but instead of a 3-yard gain, that's going to go an extra 15 yards, but a good sign of sportsmanship there is both Daquan Camp and Ernie Squirrels kind of shake it out, so that's good to see. But it will be a penalty flag on the Red Devils. I think that's the first penalty on Newton-Conover tonight, or second penalty on Newton-Conover
tonight. I think you're right.
Other than that one offsides penalty, that's the first time it's been more than an average penalty. So, hardly anything has gone wrong for Newton-Conover tonight. Everything's gone right for Newton, and everything's gone wrong for North Lincoln so far in this game. You can see that in the scoreboard, reflecting it 28-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
So North Lincoln now has a first down on the 37-yard line of Newton-Conover.
Got a bunch formation. Jacob Harmon has an H-back. And Clayton Cribb's going to take the handoff. He'll get to the 39-yard line, breaks a couple of tackles, now on his feet, and now he's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line. You got to really make sure you get Clayton Cribb down. He's limping up. Don't want to see that.
He really fights for yardage. I love how he runs because he doesn't stop. He keeps fighting and fighting, trying to get extra yardage.
And of course, as we said earlier, a lot of schools starting to take notice, taking a trip to Annapolis tomorrow, Navy. Then he'll be taking a trip with Wake Forest down the road in Army. So Clayton Cribb, only a junior, still got a lot ahead of him for that young man. So 2nd down and 2 coming up here for the Knights. And it's going to be another handoff to Clayton Cribb, who gets the first down and more, across the 50 and brought down at about the 42-yard line. Has Clayton Cribb probably been the most consistent player on offense so far, Ken?
Yeah, absolutely, and another good game on that play.
Yeah, they're going to give him a breather now as he's a little bit banged up. He was limping before that last play. And so in comes Jacob Harmon as the fullback. And they're bringing in Zach Rhodes and Jake Sarus in the backfield as well, who's also been the backup tailback. So that was an Adelaide's Kubota first down. And now North Lincoln, a little bit of deja vu. Play clock under 10, so they're going to have to hurry here to get this play off in time. Now under 5. Let's see if McCoy can get the snap off in time. They will. Going to be a handoff to Jake Sarus, a little bit more speed back. And he'll get about 4 or 5 yards on the play.
Nice game there. Good drive going for the Knights. They want to keep it going.
Yeah, of course, they got around to this point a couple drives ago, and then a bad snap and then an unsportsmanlike penalty hurt the Knights, and that basically stalled the drive. As it went as bad as 3rd and 42, I believe, Ken?
Yes, that's there's not many plays in the playbook for that. And unfortunately, ruined that drive, and let's see if they can stay, not make mistakes on this one and continue.
It's going to be a deep throw by Reed McCoy to Zach Rhodes. Let's see who's going to get it. It's going to be a jump ball. Nice shot by Zach Rhodes, preventing an interception there, as that was right in the hands of Miles Baker.
Good coverage there. Throw deep near the corner of the goal line. Broken up there.
And I tell you, I think a good bit of this passing game is struggling, Ken. The reason why is these last 2 weeks they have faced very athletic defensive backs, and that's something they haven't faced throughout the season.
Yes, and that makes a difference. The receivers for North Lincoln are good receivers, but when you got secondary guys that can cover them, then you can't get that separation.
Well, handoff to Clayton Cribb here on 3rd down, and a nice stop there, just short of the first down by number 25, Kylan Bradshaw. And you got to think North Lincoln's going to try to go for it here with nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think 4-down territory here. 4th and 4, they got to go for it.
So the ball is at the Newton-Conover 37-yard line. North Lincoln's actually burned a good bit of clock, 3 minutes here. Let's see what they're going to do here. Maybe go for a hard count again. But Coach Beam's going to call a timeout as he didn't like what he saw on the defensive side. We'll take a quick timeout too.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, with 3 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, and Vail. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. The Can-Am Tabarite at Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln. They're big, they're bold, and they're now in stock at Al Lane Motorsports. See the new 2018 Can-Am Maverick X3 or the new 2018 Can-Am Outlander 1000 XMR. Ask about special financing on selected 2017 models. Al Lane Motorsports, your new Can-Am dealer, serving Lincoln, Gaston, Cleveland, and surrounding counties. Online at allanemotorsports.com.
Back here, 4th down and short coming up. Reed McCoy tries to go for the hard count. This time, Newton-Conover does not flinch. So now they're going to have to run a play here. Let's see what they do. It's a bunch formation. Going to be a handoff to Jake Sarus, who stutter steps a little bit, gets through the first line of the defense. And I think he's got it.
Yeah, nice hard run as he didn't have it initially on the first hit, but he kept going forward and got the first down. A gain of about 5 or 6 on the play.
So that'll be an Al Lane's Kubota first down for the Knights. They move into the 31-yard line of Newton-Conover. Let's see if they can continue this momentum. They're down 28-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
And we have 5:40 left in the first half.
And North Lincoln's burned some clock on this drive, but they got to hurry as they're not on the line with 6 seconds remaining on the play clock. And let's see what they're going to do here. Can they get it off in time? They will. Going to be a handoff to Clayton Cribb, and he's stopped in the backfield. Fumble on the play, and it's going to be recovered by Newton-Conover. So just like that, a promising drive once again for North Lincoln is immediately shut down by the Red Devils. And that's Clayton Cribb's 4th or 5th fumble of the year. That's been the only downside to his game, as he does fumble. He did have 2 crucial fumbles against West Lincoln earlier in the year.
That'll turn it back over to Newton-Conover on that play. A loss of 7, and they lose it on a turnover back to Newton-Conover, who will take the ball here on their own 38-yard line.
So trips to the left coming up here for Newton-Conover. Ball at their own 39-yard line. Wolfong in the backfield with Baker. Actually, no, it is number 2, Kaiwan McLean. He gets on the outside, now spins through a couple defenders, a flag on the field, and another flag on the field, 2 separate flags. As North Lincoln finally gets to McLean at the 45-yard line. Let's see what these flags are going to be on here. As the flags came from 2 different officials at about 2 or 3 seconds apart from each other.
Yeah, I think there's 2 penalties. Let's say maybe there's just one. They're picking one flag up, marking it off against Newton-Conover.
Yeah, so that'll move Newton-Conover back, as I think that was a block and a back call. So that'll move Newton-Conover to their own 33-yard line, first down and about 16 for the Red Devils. So trips to the left side here on the near side hash for the Red Devils. You got McLean in the backfield with Baker. And Baker going to go to a strict slant pass, and it's caught by Jaheim Mullen. And he breaks through one tackle and then brought down at the 43-yard line. So that makes up the penalty yardage, and then a couple more extra yards added on to that. So actually gain of 10 on the play. Makes it 2nd down and 6 coming up here for the Red Devils. As we're now under 5 minutes left in the first half of play. The score, as you see on your screen, is 28-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Newton-Conover leads over North Lincoln. It's going to be an empty set for the Red Devils. And, well, Shamar Baker didn't like what he saw, and he's going to call a timeout. We'll take another timeout with him.
It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Empty set back here as we come back as McLean jukes and jives over 2 North Lincoln defenders. He's still on his feet and finally gets out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. So we just got back there. Ken, I swear, some of these Newton-Conover players have some amazing moves on them.
Yeah, they're quick, and that's like a, it looked like a 28-yard gain on that pass play to McLean, from Baker to McLean.
Most times that would have been only a 6 or 7 yard game. He turned it into 20 yards extra for an Al Lanes Kubota first down. Where Newton-Conover has it at the North Lincoln 29-yard line. Empty set for the Red Devils as Baker all by himself trips to the left, 2 receivers to the right. McLean going in motion. It's going to be a read option as Shamar Baker takes it out of McLean's hand. He's going to take it for himself inside the 25 before he's rocked with the ball on the ground. It's a fumble on the play, and Newton-Conover got it. Wow. As I said, everything is falling in Newton-Conover's way tonight, and that is just a prime example. You fumble the ball near the red zone, and then you pick it right back up, and that's going to be good enough for an Al Lanes Kubota first down.
Yes.
I mean, just like Coach Beam drew it up.
So now it's 1st and 10. Looks like on the 16-yard line.
Looks like the 18-yard line, but into red zone nonetheless. Baker going to go on the deep shot to Squirrels dropped through his hands, incomplete. That was a little high there as both him and Daquan Camp jumped up for that ball.
Looks like it went through 2 sets of hands there. Neither one of them was able to bring that down.
Yeah, and Squirrels is both are about the same height. Squirrels 5'11", Camp, so I think around that same height as well. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Again from the 18-yard line, Newton-Conover threatening again.
Yeah, already up 28-0 here. Empty set. Baker going to drop back under some pressure. It's a screen pass to McLean, and McLean's got blockers with him. He's cutting out to the left now. He's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow.
A perfect play call there and perfect execution by the line. Kaiwan McLean and Shamar Baker, everyone involved on that play. Great job by Newton-Conover. That'll put them up 34-0, awaiting the 2-point conversion as, well, actually Tappy is out on the field. Let's see if they're going to go for it or if they're going to take the extra point. And now they will get into the field goal formation. They're just going to go try and take the extra point here. Now have a guy run late on the field.
We got a late substitution coming in for Newton-Conover. I guess they only had 10 out there.
Last snap was pretty low for the PAT. Let's see if the snap's better this time. Better snap. The kick is up, and it is good. So now it is 35-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Newton-Conover leading over North Lincoln. We'll be back right after this.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Back here at Newton-Conover, at Gurley Field, where Newton leads 35-0 over North Lincoln. A kickoff, and this one actually is going to be returned by the Knights. Zach Rhodes takes it at the 6-yard line. He's got a couple of defenders of blockers ahead of him. Now he pushes a blocker to help himself out. And a late flag coming out. And that's going to be a block in the back against North Lincoln. So what was a good return, instead of having the ball at the 41-yard line, is going to be pushed back a little bit.
That's the first time that the kicker for Newton-Conover didn't kick it in the end zone, and it looked like it was purposely not done that way. But North Lincoln with a good return, but unfortunately going to be spoiled by this penalty.
And that's the first time we've really gotten to see Zach Rhodes, the sophomore, who's been North Lincoln's leading receiver heading into tonight's game. Coming into this game, he has 28 receptions for 539 yards and 6 touchdowns. Also threw a touchdown pass against Lake Norman Charter.
So North Lincoln will take over on their own 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
Trips to the left here. Zach Rhodes all by himself. On the near side, a quick screen pass to Clayton Cribb, but he almost dropped it.
Well, I think he did.
He did drop it.
He picked it up, I guess, just in case they may have ruled that it was a backward pass, but it wasn't. It was a forward pass.
And that's unfortunate because he did look like he had a good bit of room ahead of him where he could get that first down.
So now it's 2nd and 10 with 3:12 left on the clock.
Still same formation as the last play. Trips to the left. Corner's playing deep for Newton, and now Reba Court trying to find a quick pass. Now throws it over the middle to Jake Sarouse, who catches it, and looks like he got the first down.
If he could have got away from that tackle there, he had some running room over here on the right side, but that is going to be a first down, it looks like, or close to it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an Adelaide's Kubota first down. Last drive North Lincoln had, they got right to the 30-yard line before a fumble occurred. Well, they're going to call an official.
That's the first down.
I almost thought they were bringing out the change with the way they were looking at it. But it's going to be a Adelaide's Kubota first down officially coming up here for the Knights. Now Reed McCrory going under center here. Clayton Cribb right behind him. Going to be a handoff to Clayton Cribb. Gets through the first line of defense, but finally brought down at the 38-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play.
Short gain on the play, and we have a 2nd and 8, looks like.
And we're just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. North Lincoln has 2 of their timeouts still if they want to try to get a 2-minute offense. Of course, they haven't gotten those chunk plays that they've been wanting because Reed McCrory has not been having enough time to pocket as he's going to try to get the pass right for the middle. Caught by Daquan Camp, who's losing yardage actually on the play. And now a late flag coming out. Daquan Camp had the ball at the 43-yard line, and then he just went back and lost yardage on the play.
Yeah, it looked like he lost his balance a little bit and tried to recover, and Pursuit wouldn't let him get. So it's a call. It looked like it's against the Newton-Conover Red Devils.
And there's an injured Red Devil on the field at this time. And it will be a penalty against the Red Devils, but we do have an injured Red Devil on the field. Of course, that's the first time we've had to see an injury timeout, and we'll take a quick timeout with them.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln and Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street in Lincoln.
And back here at Newton-Conover where the injured Red Devil, which was Kylan Bradshaw, is walking under his own power, so that's good to see. Don't really know. It looks like the penalty is only going to be a 5-yard penalty, so it'll be 3rd down and short coming up about 2 yards from the looks of it. It's now waiting North Lincoln's. As North Lincoln has to get to their own 46-yard line to get a first down. So let's see here, 2 running backs in the backfield with, actually it looks like a Wildcat formation, and it is for Jake Sarouse. A flag on the field. Sarouse gets to the 45. Let's see what that flag's going to be, though.
A couple of flags, looks like.
Yeah, McCrory was lined up as a wide receiver, and Sarouse was in a little bit of a Wildcat formation. It looks like it might be against North Lincoln. So we're waiting to call holding against the Knights.
Holding against the Knights.
And Matt Beams is just waiting for the penalty to be accepted, which it will be. So still going to be 3rd down, but instead it's going to be 3rd and about 12 coming up for North Lincoln. So definitely North Lincoln, whenever they find any momentum, it just seems to immediately go south for them.
I'm just showing you how you're supposed to do it.
So now 2-by-2 wide receiver sets with Sarouse in the backfield. Offsides, and that time the penalty is called. So I believe was what that 15-yard penalty was for North Lincoln earlier in the game. They were arguing that they've been jumping offsides a lot on the hard counts.
He certainly got 2 or 3 Red Devils on that one, as one Red Devil came across the line by a couple of yards.
So that'll make it a little bit more manageable, but still 3rd and long, about 3rd and 7 coming up here for North Lincoln. Now a hard count yet again. This time it doesn't work for the Knights. Now they're getting set up, trips to the right side for North Lincoln. McCrory going to drop back under some pressure. Now going to scramble. He's going to try to cut upfield, trying to get to the first down, but drop down at about the 43-yard line, well short of the first down, and that'll make it 4th and short coming up with just over a minute remaining. So 4th and 4 coming up here. It's going to be an interesting decision to see what North does. Go for it, or do they just punt it? And it looks like they're going to go for it here.
Excellent job by McCoy to make even 3 yards out of that play.
Yeah, he's been having to scramble a lot tonight. So the hard count doesn't work, and now they're getting a play call from Pack and assistant coach Paul Regan. And McCoy going to drop back and pass under some pressure from behind. He's now going to throw it to Sarousse, who's open, and he caught it. He's on his feet and brought down at the 38-yard line. Sarousse has been open on every pass that Reed McCrory has completed, and every pass he's completed, I believe, has gone to Jake Sarousse. So now North Lincoln inside Newton-Conover territory, but 24 seconds remaining. But a false start penalty easily called on the right side of the North Lincoln line as they're just trying to hurry so much. So that does not help North at all.
That previous play was a 19-yard pass play to Soros, and he's been the favorite receiver for Reed McCoy tonight.
Yeah, Jake Sarousse only came in with 10 receptions tonight for North Lincoln. I think he's gotten about 4 or 5 in tonight's game.
Yes, he has. I showed him with 4 receptions so far, Evan.
Well, North Lincoln's going to call a timeout here. We'll take another quick timeout with them.
Doctor, what's wrong?
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln and Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. When it's time to call your order in for your special event, call the Chuck Wagon Grill for any occasion. They'll cater to your every need. They'll even bring it to your doorstep. And be sure to check out their prime rib. It's absolutely out of this world good. The Chuck Wagon Grill is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with some great daily lunch and dinner specials. Be sure to check out their homemade soup on cool days ahead. For your catering, call 704-732-4777. The Chuck Wagon Grill, 3051 Highway 27, east of Lincoln.
Back here at Gurley Stadium, North Lincoln trying to run a quick 2-minute offense, but they got 20 seconds remaining. 1st and 15. McCoy going to try to take a deep throw down, and he's hit while he was trying to throw. It's a fumble on the play, and it's recovered by Newton-Conover.
The official saying incomplete.
Wow.
As his arm, he's ruling his arm was going forward.
Yeah, it was, but it was halted immediately there. As McCoy was just trying to stay in the pocket as long as he could and try to throw it downfield. It looks like he was looking at Zach Rhodes, his favorite target. It did not work, but he's going to have to continue to throw it downfield. 13.1 seconds remaining in the first half of play. If there's any silver lining here, North Lincoln does get the ball to start the second half. But they're trying to get on the board here, trying to get something going. They're going to try to go deep pass once again. McCrory throws it quick because under pressure. It's caught by Caleb Hawley trying to get the first down, and he will get the first down.
Nice gain on that play. They needed 15. Looked like they got about 16 on that play.
That's the first time someone other than Jake Sarousse has called a pass for North Lincoln tonight. That's an Alain Kubota first down, and North Lincoln's going to burn a timeout, their final timeout here. Now, we have talked about Francisco Tapia being a real good kicker. We've seen North Lincoln's kicker, Christian Delaney, he has a pretty good leg on him as well.
Yeah, he could. This is in his range if they want to go for 3.
Well, I do know against the West Lincoln game back in late September, early October, it was he did make a 42-yard field goal. So that's the longest I think he's made this year. So it's around that range of 42, 43, 44 yards. So I mean, it's going to be a tough one to make, and it's on the hash. But let's see.
The ball is
5.3 seconds. But
ball's marked on the 27, so it'd have to be about a 34-yard attempt.
Well, it looks like North Lincoln's going to rather try to get 6 here.
So they're gonna try to go for it for the touchdown here. I don't think they've got time to get out of bounds.
No, it's going to have to be for a Hail Mary here, just something into the end zone. Reed McCrory does have that arm to where he can get it there. McCrory drops back. He's under some pressure.
He's not going to get it away.
He actually gets it away, but it's short.
As he was hit hard as he threw it. And that's the end of the first half.
So that's the end of the first half on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. It's Newton-Conover leading 35-0 over North Lincoln.
It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus you have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand opening of the new Ronaldo Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Ronaldo Honda, located at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from.
Here it is, sponsored by the sophomore class.
And back here at Gurley Stadium, where we've now reached halftime between Newton-Conover and North Lincoln, as Newton-Conover well in hand of this one, 35-0 lead on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, as you've now entered the Parker Farm Service of Kings Mountain halftime show. You can go to Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain, or you can call them at 704-259-6100, or visit them at www.tractorsusa.com. Once again, that's www.tractors.usa. That's www.tractorsusa.com. I was trying to put way too many dots in. But, Ken, it's been all Newton-Conover. Everything has gone right for Newton-Conover, and everything has gone wrong for North Lincoln.
Yes, it has. And Newton-Conover with their explosive offense, and they have a lot of playmakers. You can talk about Jamar Baker, and he's an excellent player. But they've got lots of other playmakers on that team.
I mean, just to name a few folks of what they have Ernie Squirrels, Kywan McLean, Miles Baker, Jaheim Mullen, Alan Wilfong. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We've seen Kylan Bradshaw make plays on defense. It's just, it's loaded. That's all I can say about it. It's just loaded, and they're deep, which is something that we haven't been able to say about Newton-Conover, especially on defense the last few years.
This is a very good team, and it's probably too early to say what's going to happen at playoff time, but we know how well they played against High Brighton, and you watch them play and how dominating they are. This is the team, I think, to be reckoned with once they get into the playoffs.
Well, they only got a half to go, and if they can hang on and win this one, they'd be undefeated in conference play, and they'd be playing Maiden next week, as we'll get to their score in a little bit later here on the halftime show, Parker Farm Service halftime show. But without any further ado, let's go to the LincolnCounty.com stat sheet provided by Ken Link.
Well, the stats in this first half, we saw Newton-Conover jump out to 15-0 first quarter lead, and they expanded that to 35-0 at the half. Several big playmakers for Newton-Conover. Alan Wilfong, who's filling in for the Stinson, usually the regular running back for Newton-Conover. Wilfong has scored 2 touchdowns. He's carried the ball 4 times for 65 yards. He had a 43-yard touchdown run and a 6-yard touchdown run. Shamar Baker, we'll talk about his passing totals in a minute, but he's carried the ball 3 times for 57 yards. He had a long 47-yard touch play that set up Wilfong's second touchdown. Kywan McLean has been a star here in the first half. He's carried the ball twice, once for 27 yards. One of those with a 23-yard touchdown run. He also has caught an 18-yard touchdown pass. And on both of those, he showed lots of speed and moves to score on those. Passing, Shamar Baker is 8 out of 12 for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns went to Jaheim Mullen on a 67-yard touchdown play. So the Newton-Conover Red Devils have almost 300 yards total offense in the first half. So they have really have put on a display here.
And now for North Lincoln, which is probably the other side of the spectrum, the way the game's going.
Yes, for North Lincoln, Clayton Cribbs had some good plays tonight, but he's had some other plays that end up being losses. We know he lost a fumble, but his total, when you take in some of the losses, he's carried the ball 12 times, but for only 26 yards when you take those losses away he's had. Jake Soares has probably been the most impressive player for the Knights. He's carried it twice for 11 yards. He's also caught 4 passes. Reed McCoy has been sacked 3 times. And he has thrown the ball. I have him 17 attempts, 9 out of 17 for 85 yards. But no scores on the board for North Lincoln Knights tonight.
I got to say, 9 out of 17 for 85 yards. He's earning every bit of those.
Oh, yes. I mean, he's scrambled and made some plays, and he's took some big hits trying to scramble and get those passes off.
And then late in the first half, we saw him try to stay in the pocket, and he just got clobbered. So, you know, it's getting to the point where one more touchdown for Newton, as long as they don't give up a touchdown to North, they get it to a running clock. You got to think, if you're Coach Pack, you know, maybe we just want to bring in some of the 8-quarter guys eventually. I think it's about to get to that point if they can't score on this opening drive. I mean, it's a 35-point deficit. We've rarely seen that come back. You know, I know they gave up a 31-7 lead a couple weeks ago, but, you know, just they seem completely outmatched in this scenario.
Yeah, and you may see Coach Beam make some more substitutions, but as you said, this is a deep team. You put other guys in, that doesn't mean that North Lincoln's going to have more success.
Yeah. All right, so that'll do it for our LincolnCounty.com stat sheet. When we come back, we're going to give you some scores from around the area. There's some interesting scores, to say the least, in the South Fork 2A Conference. And, of course, we might get some other scores from other leagues. We'll be back right after these messages.
Ram Power Days. They're underway at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lincoln. And get $1,000 Power Days bonus cash on select 2017 models. Now get up to $11,971 in total value on the new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models. Or get 0% APR for 72 months on the new Ram 2017 1500 models. Come in now for all the details and save big during Ram Power Days. Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. When it's time to call your order in for your special event, call the Chuck Wagon Grill for any occasion. They'll cater to your every need. They'll even bring it to your doorstep. And be sure to check out their prime rib. It's absolutely out of this world good. The Chuck Wagon Grill is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with some great daily lunch and dinner specials. Be sure to check out their homemade soup on cool days ahead. For your catering, call 704-732-4777. The Chuck Wagon Grill, 3051 Highway 27, east of Lincoln.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. Tuesday, the oven roasted chicken sub. Wednesday, the turkey breast sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT sub. Friday, the tuna sub. Saturday, the Black Forest ham sub. And Sunday, the meatball marinara sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boger City and the Walmart in Lincoln.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill-up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city.
And back here at Newton-Conover High School, it's the Parker Farm Service halftime show. Once again, go online and visit our website, www.tractorsusa.com, or call them at 704-259-6100. All right, Ken, now we're going to go see somebody's scores in the area. As let's see some of the scores here. Interesting one there. Kings Mountain only up 2-0 over Burns right now. And a big game for Hunter Huss trying to not have a trap game against Farsview after they upset Crest in a fiasco of a game. 14-6 they're leading over Farsview right now. Ashbrook leads Stuart Kramer 15-13. As Ashbrook's trying to win out and make the playoffs. Last we got 11 minutes ago, Shelby leading East Gaston 32-0. East Lincoln trailing Maiden at the half 15-7. Thomas Jefferson trailing by 1 point against Bessemer City, as that's basically the battle for that conference there. Cherville leading Highland Tech 19-6. Mountain Island Charter leading over Pine Lake Prep 21-12. And East Rutherford leading over Chase 27-0. Last we got was Lincoln leading over Lake Norman Charter 33-6. And here's the one that I'm really was caught off guard when we heard this. Bandy's leading 21-0 over West Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the score. I'm not so surprised that Bandy's maybe's got a lead. But I thought that'd be a close game. I know it's at Bandy's and that's a rivalry, but wow, I didn't expect Bandy's to be up on West Lincoln by 3 touchdowns.
And we do know that they've been severely banged up throughout the year, but I think they are starting to get some of their players back, so that might be part of the answer. And South Point crushing our Central 49-0. Hillcrest leading over North Gaston 21-13. And I believe those are the scores we have in high school football. Going over to NBA basketball, we won't have the Hornets tonight, but we will throughout the rest of the season. Currently, they have an 87-79 lead over the Atlanta Hawks in their home opener with 9:53 remaining in the fourth quarter. Looking at the stat leaders, Kemba Walker has 20 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. Dwight Howard has another double-double already going into the fourth, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Actually doing pretty good behind the free throw line at 4-7. Malik Monk gotten 3 points and 3 rebounds to rookie for Kentucky. And after struggling mightily Wednesday, Frank Kaminsky getting 21 points off the bench. So that's something that he really needed. Of course, this game is without Cody Zeller, who was put on the injury report tonight. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist due to personal reasons. And, of course, their backup point guard, Michael Carter-Williams, is also out. Of course, Nick Batum out until around Christmas time possibly. So Hornets going to have to try to tread into that 500 range. Let's see how the Major League Baseball game is going.
Lisa heard it was still a 0-0 tie with Houston and the Yankees.
As Miss Ivy Eller has been crowned the homecoming queen here at Newton-Conover High School for 2017, so congrats to her. So I believe she was being escorted by Caleb Farley, former Maiden quarterback, and of course, unfortunately, he was not able to play at Virginia Tech this year due to an ACL injury, but nice to see him out there. It's the top of the fourth inning, New York and Houston at 0 apiece, as that game's in Houston right now. Of course, if the Yankees win, they play the Dodgers. If the Astros win, they stay alive for another day. So that has been our score updates, folks, and we'll be back here for the second half of play. We want to thank the Parker Farm Service for sponsoring our halftime show. We'll be back for the second half.
It's the grand reopening of Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus you have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Ronaldo Honda, located at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
I said where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken, where I come from.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. Tuesday, the oven roasted chicken sub. Wednesday, the turkey breast sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT sub. Friday, the tuna sub. Saturday, the Black Forest ham sub. And Sunday, the meatball marinara sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boulder City and the Walmart in Lincolnton.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into.
And back here at Gurley Stadium, Newton-Conover High School, about ready to start the second half of play. Newton-Conover leading on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, 35-0 over the Knights. And we just got a score update. This game in Maiden is getting more interesting. Maiden leads only 22-15 now over East Lincoln.
Yes, Maiden jumped out with an early lead, 15-0, but East Lincoln's come back and trying to make a game of it. We know East Lincoln's got a good defense. If they could just get a little offense going, they could make this game even closer probably.
Now, the reason why we're making a big deal of this, folks, is Newton-Conover is tied with East Lincoln and Maiden for first place right now. So as long as Newton can just hold North to under 35 points, which is with the way they've been playing, it's very possible. It's probably going to happen. Newton will be undefeated most likely next week as they go against Maiden.
And if Maiden beats East Lincoln, then again you got two undefeateds in the conference playing next week.
And just to add on to that, they are huge rivals.
Yes.
So, I mean, that'll add some extra punch into that rivalry game if both teams can hang on and win tonight. Of course, Maiden's having a tougher time right now than Newton is, as North Lincoln has not gotten their offense into the red zone tonight. The closest they've got, Ken, was to the 30-yard line.
Yes, and they were stymied right near the end of the half and couldn't quite get in.
So Francisco Tapia will be kicking it off. Back deep for the Knights will be number 3, Daquan Camp, and number 17, Zach Rhodes. As it's going to be on the right hash, so most likely it'll go to Daquan Camp. But most of these kicks have been going into the end zone. So here we go. We are about ready to start the second half. This one's more of a blooper kick into Daquan Camp's hands at about the 10-yard line. He's got some room up the middle. He's going to cross the 30, cross the 35, drop down just short of the 40-yard line. This time no penalties on the return.
Good return out to the 39-yard line, and he looked like he was disappointed. If he could have broken that tackle, he had some more green grass out in front of him.
Well, yeah, you're right, Ken, because he has returned a couple of kicks for touchdowns in the season. One that comes to mind was the game against Fred T. Ford where he got one after a safety was scored for North Lincoln. So now the Knights have the ball first down and 10 at their own 39-yard line. And they have been struggling mightily in this game so far. Hand off to, looks like Jake Sarouse. Yes, Jake Sarouse will be starting the tailback for the second half.
Nice gain of about 4 on the play, looks like.
Yeah, nice. Yes. Sarouse did come into the second half against Bessemer City when Clayton Cribb was banged up in that game and did a fine job.
This brings up a 2nd and 5.
McCrory going to hand it off to Sarouse yet again. Sarouse trying to bounce through his defenders, gets across the 45 before he's dragged down by a host of Red Devils on the play. Of course, forward progress will help him keep that yard. So it's going to be 3rd down and short coming up.
Bring up looks like 3rd and 3.
They're going to have to get to the 49-yard line to convert the 1st down. Got 2 receivers to the right, and Caleb Hawley all by himself on the left. Hard count doesn't work for McCrory. Still got 16 left on the play clock. He's getting the call from Coach Pack on the sidelines. Now he's ready to deliver. Now looks back over to the sidelines to make sure you got the play call right. Now they're under 7 seconds remaining in the play clock. They're going to have to hurry here. Now 3 seconds remaining. Let's see if they get it off in time.
I don't think they are.
And they will not get it off in time, but they did call a timeout. We're going to keep it here, folks. That's just, actually they're going to call a delay of game on North Lincoln. They did not get it off in time.
Late getting the play in, and they just couldn't get it off.
Well, it looks like he thought he got the play in, but then he looked back over, didn't get the right play out. I don't really know, just a miscommunication there.
And then we got to cost them and back them up. Now we got a 3rd and 8, which is obviously a tougher 3rd down to make.
Cerusse in the backfield as McCrory drops back. Got a pretty good pocket, and as he gets drilled in the backfield, and that's number 19, Ernie Squirrels, who leads the team in sacks.
Boy, we've called his name a lot tonight.
Yeah, on offense and defense. As that's another 3 and out here for North Lincoln, as nothing can get going. Once I said McCrory had a pretty good pocket with him, Squirrels just came right through that right tackle and just drilled Reed McCrory. So that's the 4th sack North Lincoln has given up, and let's be frank, it should have been more if it wasn't for Reed McCrory's scrambling ability here tonight.
Back in punting formation, McCrory around the 20-yard lines where he'll take the snap.
Trying to get a hard count. Now the snap was late. It looked like a miscommunication. Shamar Baker going to be returning to punt, and it gets off his foot. And now he's going to be able to return it at about the 25 as he jukes a receiver, Peyton Dexter, and Carter Reardon brings him down at the 32-yard line. A flag comes in late. Might be a block in the back penalty against North Lincoln, but on that play there, Shamar Baker put Peyton Dexter on skates.
He's got some moves out there.
But it looks like Shamar Baker. No, not Shamar Baker, but someone, Red Devil is on the ground. Looks like he might have gotten hurt on the play. Trying to see the number here, can't really tell. Blocking the back penalty against Newton, as what is to call in most punts, as it looks like the injured Red Devil, I want to say is number 55, I believe, Jalen. I don't really, yeah, it is 55. Is he limping off the field on his left foot? Yeah, Jalen Corpening was the injured Red Devil on the play, as he is going to have to get a little bit of help going onto the sidelines. Hate to see that. And he's definitely in some pain from what we see here down on the sidelines. Being consoled by a teammate. But after the penalty, that'll move Newton-Conover back to their own 20-yard line. And Ken here, with a touchdown, would get a running clock. So I think that's what Matt wants to do here, is get to that running clock here.
Yes, I think he'll go with his regular play calling here to try to get downfield and get that touchdown. 9-13 in the 3rd quarter here. We're just getting going. First possession for Newton-Conover this half.
They got McLean in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Wilfong as he gets about 3 on the play, as they've used both Kaiwan McLean and Alan Wilfong in tonight's game as running backs. And they've both been pretty effective as Carter Reardon got on the tackle on the play. Reardon, the last few weeks, the main game, he played pretty well against the Blue Devils. And he's gotten 2 straight tackles in a row. So now the play call trying to get delivered to Newton-Conover offense. They got 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. Wilfong's to the left of Shamar Baker. Got an H back there too. They got McLean going in motion. It's going to be a read option fake to McLean, and Shamar Baker's going to take it. He breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet. The ball's loose.
Yeah, he was close to the 1st down. The ball came out. Let's see who's got it.
And it's still going to be Newton-Conover ball. So that's 2 fumbles Newton-Conover's had, but they've fallen on both of them. And just to give you the flip side of things, North's fumbled it, I believe, 2 or 3 times, and they've lost it twice. So just shows you how this game's going tonight.
going to bring up 3rd and short. Looked like a gain of 6 on that play. 3rd and 1.
So 3rd and 1 upcoming for the Red Devils. 7:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter as they lead 35-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. And the blitz is coming. It's going to be a handoff to Wolfong as he gets through the first line of defense and gets to the 34-yard line. Good enough for a Al Lanes Kubota first down, the first of the second half. So we had quite a few here in the first half. They get to the 34-yard line.
What are you looking at? Oh, it's down there.
And now we got a 1st down and 10 coming up here for the Red Devils. Ball's at the 34-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. It's going to be another handoff to Wolfong onto the right side of the field. He gets through. Scott fumble the field. And once again, it's recovered by Newton-Conover.
Wow. They've lost 3 that they fumbled and fell on.
I mean, you just don't see that happen that often, though.
No, you don't.
And then the bad thing about it is for North, this happened against West Lincoln back in September. West Lincoln fumbled about 3 or 4 times, and West Lincoln fell on all 3 of those fumbles. And that was a big difference in that ball game.
Sometimes it's just the way the ball bounces, and unfortunately, tonight it's been bouncing all Newton-Conover's way.
Yeah, that has definitely been the case tonight. So after the fumble fell on by a lineman, it's going to be 2nd down and 2 yards, we'll say. So almost it looks more like a yard and a half as Newton-Conover's burning the play clock there. And they're going to be a handoff yet again to Wolfong. And he's going to get the 1st down and more. And tackled down at about the 47, 48-yard line. Good enough for another Al Lanes Kubota 1st down.
And they'll spot it on the, looks like the 47-yard line.
So we just got a score update. Maiden now leading East Lincoln 29-15. So they're trying to keep themselves undefeated, and both conference playing overall play against the Mustangs tonight before their matchup against this Newton-Conover team next week, which will be at Maiden. So 1st down and 10 here for the Red Devils. Going to be a quick screen pass to Miles Baker. It goes through his hands. Incomplete. As Miles Baker was trying to dive on it. He didn't know if it was behind the line of scrimmage or not. It's going to be an incomplete pass. But, it was right in the breadbasket there, Ken. And
yeah, it was almost like a little bit of a mix-up. You had number 2 and number 8 there, and they were so close together. I guess one was a blocker, but it was tight in there to try to get that ball in.
So now 2nd down and 10 coming up here for Newton-Conover, as most of Baker's incomplete passes have been drops. Baker going to drop back. He's going to throw it deep to Baker again.
There he is.
And this time Baker catches it, and he cannot stay in bounds, but still a big gain inside the 10-yard line. And that's going to be at about the 7-yard line. Red Devils, a Al Lanes Kubota 1st down.
Great long throw. He had a couple steps on it. Baker to Baker. I think those, someone told me they're brothers. I don't know. They're both juniors, and they're both Bakers, and they're both fine players.
Well,
that's for sure.
If they're related, they're probably twins. I mean, but they do have a connection, that's for sure, as Miles Baker just beat Josh Harris on the deep route there, the post route.
46-yard pass play.
So another deep long ball there for Newton-Conover. I think they're trying to speed things up. They're running it so much, why not go for a deep pass play while you're at it? So now 1st down and goal here for the Red Devils as Baker is in the backfield. And he's going to roll out to his right. Going to go screen pass that's tipped. Jaheim Mullen gets it. Trying to cut it upfield. Nice block by a lineman. And it's going to be a touchdown, Red Devils. What a beautiful play call there by Matt Beam. And nice job. I mean, Mullen could have been stopped at about the 4 or 5 yard line, but he cut up to the right and then dove into the end zone for a touchdown to give Newton a 41-0 lead.
Yeah, it was set up beautifully. It puts them up where we'll have a running clock here in a few minutes, I believe.
Yes, we have now gotten over 40, so no matter what happens for the rest of this game, it'll be a running clock unless a timeout is called or injury on the field. PAT is up, and it's good. So now Newton-Conover leads 42-0 over North Lincoln on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
And back here at Gurley Stadium, home of the Newton-Conover Red Devils as they now lead 42-0, and we'll now see a running clock touch back into the end zone. Hey, and Ken, the score might be 42-0, but Matt Beam still cares about this game as he had 10 guys out there. He was yelling at one of the guys to go out there for the kickoff team. So it just shows you how much passion Matt Beams has for this game. He got a lot of it from his dad, too. And, oh, we got a big score update here as Thomas Jefferson leading Bessemer City at the end of the third quarter, 26-14. Undefeated season on the line for both schools. Of course, so we see North Lincoln out there. First down and 10 ball. They're on 20. Cerusse in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Cerusse on the right side. He guts it up to the left. He's going to get across to 25. Get about a gain of 6 or 7 on the play before he's brought down.
Nice game by Source.
Now Matt Beam's calling a timeout. He's pretty furious here. I mean, he's already gone past the numbers here, folks.
He's out in the middle of the field.
He's at the middle of the field. Well, I don't know if he's meeting with his players. He's meeting with his players, and I don't think that ref's going to try to do much to stop him because he's Matt Beam.
Well, he called timeout, and he got out there with his players in a hurry.
Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a 42-0 lead or a 42-0 drought. If they're trailing 42-0, Matt Beam is going to care about this game 100%, and that's what you're seeing right now. That's the first time in a long time I've seen someone go out to the middle of the field and minus an injury situation.
And he got out there in a hurry, too.
that was a power walk we saw there.
Well, he wants his players to play the right way and how he's the coach, he and his coaching staff had asked him to play. And if he doesn't seeds or not, he's going to keep coaching no matter what the score is.
Well, now it's going to be second down and about 3 coming up here for the Knights as they're trying to get something going offensively. Jake Cerusse has provided most of the offense tonight for North Lincoln. Going to be a quick screen pass to Zach Rhodes. The first catch for him tonight. A flag on the field.
I don't know what that was. It's thrown way back here where the line of scrimmage was, completely away from the sideline.
And Lester calling a holding call on Jared Shore. That's the only thing I can think of with the way that both were getting up. As they're having a huddle. I mean, North Lincoln's huddled around the 2 referees that are making the call here. So North Lincoln, as Matt Beam, as an injured Red Devil on the field, as North Lincoln's Coach Mark Ludwig is attending to him right now, making sure he's all right. So as we said, the only time you usually see coaches go on the other side of the field is when there's an injury. So hopefully that Red Devil is all right. It's a long discussion here for this penalty flag. Now we're finally going to get a call here from the official, and the flag is going to be waved off. So that'll go down as the first catch of the ball game for Zach Rhodes, who has been extremely quiet here tonight. He's been held in check by this Red Devils defensive back unit, as the injured Tylen Stewart was the injured Red Devil on the play, but he is kind of limping off the field. Good to see him doing it under his own power. Some of the backups starting to come into the game. Stewart, a senior. It's about only the third or fourth time we said senior tonight for Newton-Conover.
So North Lincoln now has a first down.
That'll be an Al Lanes Kubota first down for the Knights.
And look, it's at the 32-yard line.
33, it looks
33-yard line.
It's going to be a fake screen pass. Reed McCrory going deep, but it's overthrown. So Daquan Camp was the intended target, but 2 Red Devils were in coverage on that one. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. There's more guys coming in here for North Lincoln. They're bringing back Caleb Hawley into the game. Looks like they're bringing Sam Brady, who had a great game last night again in the JV game, as he's been doing a little bit of JV lately, as I think that is him. He had a pick 6 go 96 yards late in the first half to give North Lincoln a 14-0 lead as they went on to win 20-0. Going to be a fake, just a toss there to Daquan Camp. Camp makes a defender miss, and he's brought down at about the 37-yard line. Awkward landing. McCrory with a Brett Favre-type throw there. As he was under pressure, he just kind of flicked it over to Camp.
Nice tackle, open field tackle by Miles Baker out there.
Yeah, it's hard to get any yardage against this Newton-Conover defense.
Gain of 5 on that pass play.
So now Daquan Camp relaying the play call to Zach Rhodes. It's going to be trips to the right side. Caleb Hawley all by himself on the left side. McCrory going to roll out to his right. He's going to throw it, and it's caught by Zach Rhodes. Rhodes makes a defender miss. He's going to be brought down, but I think forward progress will give him the first down. And that will be another Al Lanes Kubota first down. So coming into this drive, Zach Rhodes only didn't have a catch at all, and now he has 2 catches within 4 plays.
And the ball is now on the 44-yard line of the Knights. They're still driving.
With just a little over 2.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Remember, folks, this is now a running clock for the remainder of the ball game. Going to be a handoff to Sarus this time, who gets the room, and he's crossed the 45, had to hurdle over the defender, and that stopped his progression, but that's going to be good enough for another Al Lanes Kubota first down.
Nice run.
Yeah, Sarus definitely has a little bit more speed than Clayton Cribb. Not as much power, but has a lot of agility. Now got another update. Maiden leads over East Lincoln 29-21. And West Lincoln has come back in their game against Bandies. They're now only trailing 21-16. It's actually 28-16, but still West Lincoln has gotten into that ball game. First and 10, North Lincoln, as Sarus handles the ball once again. Gets about 2 or 3 before he stops it around the 40-yard line. Pritchard was on the tackle there for the Red Devils. As Sarus seems to be limping a little bit there.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a little shaking up there.
It's a little bit of an awkward landing he had while he was trying to cut up, and then I think his knees got hit there. It's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up here for, or should be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that's not right. I think it's 2nd and 7. That was a first down play there.
So. I was going to say, wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember the incomplete passes. I think North Lincoln's going to have to burn a timeout here.
Yeah, it's because the shot clock's running down. I mean, the play clock, not the shot clock.
We're almost into that season.
I got to say, I got the wrong sport here.
Well, a timeout has been called by North Lincoln, and we'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back.
It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
And we've now reached the end of the third quarter here, folks, as we gave missed a play there, but Reed McCrory just trying to make something out of nothing, and he just needs to throw it away on those plays and got sacked for 15 yards.
Yeah, that puts them in a bad spot here. 4th and 25. They were across midfield and maybe even in 4th down territory, but with that loss, they no doubt will punt it away here, I would think.
Well, yeah, that is the case there. It's just as Pack was just showing some frustration after that. He did not like what happened. He was just yelling, throw it away at that point. And, you know, just nothing going for North Lincoln. Once they get around to that 40-yard line, it seems like just the wheels fall off of whatever drive they had.
Okay, it's back inside the 30-yard line, standing around the 28, 29-yard line. It's Reed McCrory getting ready to punt it away.
And back deep for the Red Devils is Kywan McLean. So we're waiting to get settled, and now they are ready to play here. McCrory's had quite a few punts here tonight, has gotten some pretty good punts out tonight. And here comes the punt from McCrory. Another booming punt. And now McLean going to have to back away from that one. Now it gets a little bit of a Newton bounce to the Newton-Conover 22-yard line. And now an injured Knight on the field. As it looks like Jared Shore is the injured Knight. We'll take a quick timeout.
Ram Power Days. They're underway at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lincoln. Get $1,000 Power Days bonus cash on select 2017 models. Now get up to $11,971 in total value on the new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models. Or get 0% APR for 72 months on the new Ram 2017 1500 models. Come in now for all the details and save big during Ram Power Days. Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
And back here as Jared Shore walked under his own power for a little limp, but he is on, and a run play on 1st down and 10 as that is number 5, Miles Baker. Is a late flag on the field. See who that is going to be. It looks like it's going to be against Newton-Conover here with the way Coach Beam's reacting on the sidelines. Wasn't too happy about it.
Looked like he's after the play.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been after the play. See who it is. Another long discussion here with the referees, making sure they get everything right. They're actually pointing against North Lincoln. So see here.
Yes, it's against North.
Personal foul against North Lincoln. I think someone might have gotten onto Baker right as he hit the ground, or a little bit after he hit the ground, so that's what they're going to call the penalty on. So it'll go to the Newton-Conover 46-yard line. So that'll make it an Al Lanes Kubota 1st down. It was already close enough to a 1st down there.
Jamar Baker's still in the game. They got some other substitutes in there, but he's still there at quarterback.
Yeah, this will probably be the last drive we see Shamar Baker in the game before they bring in their JV quarterback. You know, as there's going to be another handoff to Miles Baker, who cups up the field. And
he broke it.
He's gone. He is gone. And he's putting on the afterburners in there for the touchdown. And that'll probably be it for both Miles and Shamar Baker.
A 54-yard touchdown run. That's a Silver Point Holmes TD.
As the ambulance lights coming on here at Newton-Conover. And they're going to be attempting that point after attempt. As if your last name is Baker at Newton-Conover, odds are you're a pretty darn good player. And we're definitely seeing that tonight.
I think you can assume that.
Francisco Tapia about to attempt another PAT. As his right leg has got to be tired here. As they're telling the guys to run that clock. It's a running clock here. Well, they're still not running the clock. Well, the PAT is up, and it's good. So it's 49-0, Newton-Conover leading over North Lincoln.
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln and Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. When it's time to call your order in for your special event, call the Chuck Wagon Grill for any occasion. They'll cater to your every need. They'll even bring it to your doorstep. And be sure to check out their prime rib. It's absolutely out of this world good. The Chuck Wagon Grill is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with some great daily lunch and dinner specials. Be sure to check out their homemade soup on cool days ahead. For your catering, call 704-732-4777. The Chuck Wagon Grill, 3051 Highway 27, east of Lincoln.
Back here at Newton-Conover as Gurley Stadium, as Newton-Conover leading 49-0 over North Lincoln with 8:40 remaining in the game, as we have now reached the running clock period with it being over a 40-point lead. It's Tapia kicking it off, as it'll be not returnable for Daquan Camp as he tried to jump up and get it, and of course it got into the end zone. So North Lincoln will have the ball at their own 20-yard line yet again. Reed McCoy going to be still in the ball game.
Camp was standing on the 1 foot line hoping to bring that thing down so he could return it.
As now seeing more backups come in for Newton-Conover. I think the only starter I really see for Newton out there still is number 40, which is Jordan Thompson. And he's only a sophomore. As they're still getting some substitutions out there. And Matt Beam is frustrated.
Again.
He wants everything right. He's a micromanager, and he didn't get everything right. They getting all the substitutions. He's like, hey, I'm trying to give you some playing time, guys. As he'll call a timeout there. We'll keep it here at the moment. As Matt Beam is just frustrated, but in a good kind of way. I think he'd rather be frustrated at that than some of the stuff he's gone through the past couple of years.
Looks like he's a perfectionist out there. He wants everybody to do the job, no matter what the score is.
I can tell personally, yes. Just being on the sidelines with Matt for over 6 years, yeah. He'll get mad over anything. I remember I was a water boy once. It was a playoff game, and I was trying to give the water to the officials, and he's yelling, don't give it to the officials. Get it to my freaking players. So, yeah, I made that mistake, and I panicked. So, yeah. It shows you he'll get mad at anything almost.
Okay, 1st and 10 here for the Knights on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, trips to the left, going to be a handoff to Cerusse. Cerusse got some room, going to get across the 25-yard line. And brought down at the 27-yard line. Cerusse really been the highlight of North Lincoln tonight, as the glimmer of hope there for North Lincoln has been Mr. Cerusse. Only a sophomore, as we've said how Newton has a lot of young pieces. North has some senior guys out there on the field, but they also got a lot of sophomores and juniors still going to be playing here next year.
He's an impressive player just to be a sophomore.
He even played a good bit his freshman year. As McCoy going to drop back, going to unload deep to Caleb Holly, and Holly catches it.
Great catch.
A deep catch by Caleb Holly
on the 35-yard line of Newton-Conover.
And that was some pretty tight coverage there by one of the Newton-Conover defenders, but Caleb Holly able to put his arms out there for the catch. And Holly, another guy who, hasn't really been received much attention heading into his senior year, but has gotten some attention from colleges due to his play this year. Just had a breakout performance at playing safety and wide receiver.
That's a 39-yard pass play.
Going to be a handoff to Cerusse yet again. Cerusse being brought down still on his feet, and now going to be drugged down at about the 31-yard line. And so, folks, this is the closest that North Lincoln has gotten to scoring a touchdown. They got to the 31-yard line before, and then Clayton Cleary fumbled it. And we just got an update that East Lincoln and Maiden are all tied up at 29 apiece. And, of course, that is a big game. If Maiden loses that game, As Reed McCrory dropping back and unload yet again to Caleb Hawley, this time in the end zone as they both fall down, both the receiver and defender, as I think they got caught up on their heels.
Yeah, there's no interference there. It looked like their feet just got tangled.
Yeah, I think that's a right call there. But yeah, as Maiden and East Lincoln are all tied up at 29 right now. If East Lincoln were to win, this could really shake things up if Maiden loses this week and then Maiden beats Newton next week. That would really shake things up. But if Maiden were to lose, it could come down to the final week, and we'll have that game, East Lincoln and Newton-Conover. But a 3rd down and 6 coming up here for North Lincoln. As McCrory, under some pressure now, going to roll out to his left, but he's got a lot of room ahead of him. Going to throw it downfield and deflected, incomplete pass intended for Daquan Camp, and honestly, I thought McCrory should have ran it on that play.
Yeah, it looked like he had cleared the oncoming rusher there and had a little bit of room down that sideline.
But he was trying to go for 6, and I can understand him here at this moment. You're just trying to score some points no matter what.
So that's going to bring up a 4th and 6. 5 minutes left in this ball game.
And of course, remember, it's a running clock, so when we mean 5 minutes, we definitely mean 5 minutes. Trips to the right coming up here for the Knights. And McCrory dropping back to pass under some pressure again this time. Now a guy spying on him, and he's going to throw it.
There he is.
On Sam Brady, touchdown, North Lincoln. What a weekend for the sophomore. Got a pick 6 in the JV game last night. Made a lot of great plays, and this time he gets a varsity touchdown pass. Not bad for a guy who's only played football for a year and a half. As that's another young piece for North Lincoln that they'll be looking forward to use too in the future.
Is he a sophomore?
Yeah, only a sophomore. Definitely see the talent in him, but they want to get him more involved on JV so he can get more experience. As I said, he started only playing last year. So point at PAT crew coming out. The field goal is up, and it's good. So North Lincoln gets on the board with a little over 4.5 minutes remaining. No, it's no good.
Well,
never mind. It's 49-6. We'll be right back.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. Tuesday, the oven roasted chicken sub. Wednesday, the turkey breast sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT sub. Friday, the tuna sub. Saturday, the Black Forest ham sub. And Sunday, the meatball marinara sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boulder City and the Walmart in Lincolnton.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincolnton. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincolnton can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincolnton. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincolnton.
Back here at Gurley Stadium as Newton-Conover got on the board, North Lincoln got on the board late here in the ball game to prevent a shutout as Reed McCrory threw the touchdown pass to Sam Brady. As now it looks like Christian Delaney's going to try to attempt an onside kick. As on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's Newton-Conover 49, North Lincoln 6 with 3.5 minutes remaining. Of course, still a running clock. Now they're going to try to kick to the other way. Actually, a deep kick right into the hands of Shamar Baker, who is just going to tread lightly. Now is going to go. Now he's going to take a kneel.
He finally takes a knee about the 24-yard line.
Smart play. You don't want to get Shamar Baker hurt on the kickoff return. Just trying to play it safe. Let's see if he's going to stay out onto the field. So I think he is. Yeah, he looks like he's staying out onto the field, probably just running the offense. I think what they're doing here is they don't want to have their backup quarterback's their JV quarterback, and they don't want to use his quarters up. I don't know.
Could be.
That's my guess.
Okay, they'll take over here on the 24-yard line. Clock still running. Under 3 minutes.
This could be the last drive of the game for both teams, depending on what happens. It's going to be a handoff to number 40, who's made a couple of defensive plays. He's a bruiser. And that's Jordan Thompson, 6'1", 210 pounds, only a sophomore. It's a lot of sophomores in this game tonight showing their talents on both sides. From Jake Sarus to Jordan Thompson. The list goes on and on.
Okay, waiting for the call here. And 2 minutes left in this ball game.
And they're letting that play clock go down. It's going to be another handoff to Jordan Thompson. Thompson met at the line of scrimmage. I believe that's Schmerber and number 51.
No gain that time.
Yeah, Alex Collins, the junior, gets on the stop that time. Or is that 61? If it's 61, that's David Plyer. I think that was David Plyer on the stop, too. Schmerber and Plyer. It's kind of hard to read some of these North Lincoln jerseys up here. They're very nice, but from all the way up top here, it's kind of hard to recognize the jersey numbers. Kind of have a sharp font to them.
Yeah, everything sort of runs together for folks like me that can't see as well as we once could.
I mean, they're pretty clear. It's just they're sharp. So some of the numbers are similar. So got a third down and long coming up. Just a little over a minute left in the ball game here. Probably going to see nothing spectacular on this play. As they're waiting to run the clock as down as they can. And now here comes the play. Going to be another handoff to Jordan Thompson, who's met at the line of scrimmage. Still battling off defenders. He's finally brought down. Within a minute left, they'll probably punt it, and that could be the last play of the game after the punt. But it doesn't look like they're going to bring the punt team out. Don't really need to. So we're now at 30 seconds remaining. Of course, this run clock, this will be the last play as they're waiting till the last second to run off. And that is going to be it, actually. That will be the last play run. And that'll end the ball game here. As in Newton-Conover stays undefeated in conference play as they'll wait to see what Maiden does next week. And we'll play Maiden next week, and North Lincoln will be playing Lincolnton at home next week on senior night. The final here at Gurley Stadium is Newton-Conover 49, North Lincoln 6. We'll be back for the postgame show right after these messages.
It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus you have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Doctor, what's What's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from.
And a nice show of unity here at Newton-Conover as both the teams of North Lincoln and Newton-Conover gathered in a post-game prayer. As both of them ran the 40-yard dash, that's a tradition that Matt Beam started at North Lincoln back in 2005, and North Lincoln's carried that tradition after doing each game. They run 2 40-yard dashes. Both of them ran it together. Nice show of unity tonight. A nice clean game for both squads tonight, as you know, even after late hits, we saw each other, both players, pick each other up and pat them on the back, say good play. So that's great to see here tonight. But the final here is Newton-Conover 49 and North Lincoln 6 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. So you're now listening to the Stadium Postgame Show presented by Carolina Trust Bank. And let's go ahead and get to the stat sheet presented by LincolnCounty.com. What are the stats, Ken?
Well, the stats tonight, most of the stats are on the Newton-Conover side, but let's talk about North Lincoln for a moment. Reed McCoy, although he was harassed, a lot of pass rush against him, he had to run and escape and scramble and got sacked several times. But on the night, he was 14 out of 25 for 171 yards and a touchdown pass to Sam Brady late in the game. So he didn't throw any interceptions. So it wasn't a bad game for Reed McCoy. He just couldn't get enough offense going. Jake Soares had a good rushing game. He had 50 yards rushing on 8 carries. Clayton Cripp didn't play much the second half. I don't know whether he got banged up or not, but Soares was certainly more effective when he was in there in the second half. It seemed like his speed was a little better against Newton-Conover. But the play late in the fourth quarter, Sam Brady caught a 30-yard TD pass from Reed McCoy for the only score for North Lincoln for their 6 points. On the Newton-Conover side of things, with the 49 points on the board, they had a lot of offensive stars. Alan Wilfong had 65 yards on 8 carries, rushed for 2 touchdowns. Kywan McLean ran for a touchdown, caught a touchdown pass. Jaheim Mullen caught 2 touchdown passes. And the leader of this offense, throwing those passes, of course, was none other than Shamar Baker, who was 10 out of 15 for 201 yards passing and threw 3 touchdown passes. So, again, he led this Newton-Conover offense, who has lots of athletes out there, and there are lots of players out there that were making some big plays on the offensive side for Newton-Conover.
And so without any further ado, we're going to get into our post-game awards. We want to thank our sponsors for giving away these post-game awards. Without these sponsors, we couldn't do these games. All right, first, Ken, the Offensive Player of the Game presented by Weston Sales and Vail.
The Offensive Player of the Game we're going to give to Alan Wilfong, who was the running back tonight. He was effective early on, showed great speed, had 65 yards on 8 carries, and ran for 2 touchdowns.
And of course, he was our Classic Ford and Lincoln Shelby player to watch, too.
That's true. And on the defensive side of things, Defensive Player of the Game was a guy, number 19. We called his number all night long, Ernie Squirrels, who had several sacks out there, was all over the field, actually had a couple catches on the offensive side as well, and he is the Rhodes and Beal Oil Company Defensive Player of the Game.
Well, I mean, we've got a tough decision here for our Campers Inn Player of the Game. Who is it going to be?
Well, there's a lot of offensive stars for Newton-Conover, but the leader of that bunch, Shamar Baker, passing for over 200 yards again, passed for 3 touchdowns, also had rushing yardage of 65 yards the first half, and rushed twice for about 15 yards the second half. He was out there leading it the whole time, and he proved that he is probably the best quarterback in the South Fork Conference.
And as you see here on our camera, tradition that Matt Beam has loved to do is drop the bomb after winning a game. Of course, it started at North Lincoln, carried over to Burns, and has carried over to Newton-Conover. And this will be the first time that the bomb has dropped against North Lincoln. In a weird turn of events, everything's gone 360 here. And of course, it's something to see for yourself. So we're just going to take it, let you guys watch it. And Matt Beam's going to drop the bomb and get Newton-Conover up to an 8-1 record. As we just got a score update, East Lincoln and Maiden are still tied. They're now in overtime.
Wow.
So, folks, if you want to keep in touch with that score, be sure to listen to the Ronaldo Automall postgame show. We'll have every update with you on that, and as they're dropping the bomb right now at the 50-yard line.
Here he goes.
Here we go. It's about to drop. The students are involved. Everyone's involved. And the ball's up. Boom. The bomb has dropped. And Newton-Conover officially goes to 8-1 in overall play. And they wait Maiden next week at Maiden, which could determine the conference depending on what happens. Of course, listen to the Ronaldo Automall postgame show. I'm Evan Ludwig with Alec Johnson and Ken Link tonight. I want to thank you for tuning in. Next week, we'll be at North Lincoln as they take on Lincolnton in their final county matchup. And, of course, the county matchups in Lincoln County this year have been something else. So we hope you had a good time. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday starting at 6:30 with the First Federal Savings Bank pregame show, and we'll be at the stadium at 7 o'clock. Good night, everybody.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch